Is it? The hell was that? Is it? Better not do the message twice. Okay. Holy shit, Tuesday. I don't know what happened there. I clicked start streaming, and it didn't go through. So I clicked it a second time, and I guess it was just delayed, and stopped and started it. I really hope that doesn't fuck with streaks. I'm really hoping that's fine, but... I love Twitch and OBS. He's here, he's gone. Doki, huh? Good stream, welcome back. Annie's back. Holy shit, 2 streams today. It's prob fine. Hi there, Zanzalin. I don't think it will. It shouldn't. Twitch has some, like, protections for streaks, so, like, typically I think a stream has to go more than, like, 15 minutes for it to count. I know if a stream goes down, like, let's say I stream for 2 hours, and then it goes down, and then I bring it back up in, like, a minute, that's not going to count as 2 streams for the sake of streaks. It is going to count as 2 VODs, but... all I'm saying is that just because you can put a finger there, doesn't mean you have to put your whole hand. Oh, sorry, wrong chat. Hi, Gana. Hi, Leon. Hi, Micaiah. Hi, Cairo. Hi, Smile. I thought to myself, Micaiah, all these edits I'm doing like a little thing here, a little thing there. I should be uploading them. So I did actually upload the stuff I've been doing to the Yukata yesterday. I think the only thing it's missing is the blend shape stuff, which I was like ready to work on. I messaged you about the stuff yesterday. It's very intimidating. I got to that point and I was like, oh man, I have my FBX. I don't have the overlaid Yukata on it, and I'm a little like, I don't remember how to do that. And then at one point you were just like, I don't know if you'll be able to export without exploding. I was like, you know what, that's enough for me to not want to do this without Micaiah, so. My phone just did a thing. Today is tech issue day? God, I hope not. I peeked into Xenoblade, and the name Zanza gave me made whip my neck. This is named my monk from like a 1999 MO. That's funny. Have you ever met somebody? Hi, the noob. Have you ever met somebody that, like, they have a name of a character, and then that name becomes, like, something used in, like, popular media? Like, their name becomes a Pokemon? And it's just, like, you watch them die inside because they know any connection they had to that character. Hi, Devilgated. Any, like, oh, this character is me, this name represents me, is just gone because they will never be able to compete with, like, big popular brand. If Micaiah ever gets used to a new JRPG, I'm pulling my head schmoob off. I'm trying to remember what it was for me. I remember somebody's name getting used as, like, and I think it was, like, a popular, not a popular, but it was a high traffic quest NPC in World of Warcraft. Hi, Wrath. And it was so, like, they had their name, and then it was like, that became the vendor for tokens or something, and they were just like, I'm so sad. That's why I stole mine from a small brand no one knows. No! Oh my god. How was your day? My day's been good. I woke up at like 5 or 6, and I was like, damn, that's not enough sleep, and so I went back to bed, which meant I'm not waking up in time. Well, I'm not waking up at a comfortable time. I woke up at 8 to my alarm, so I felt a little rushed this morning. Hi, Roxas. We had a 2-second stream. I'm a little worried about that. Gana was like, today's gonna be a tech issue day, and I'm like, please no. Please no, don't give me a tech issue day. Hello, hello. You do know when it comes from, right? No. PSG Anarchy? I have no idea what that comes from. Yoland is now live. What? Hold on, did Stream Elements do that twice? It did. Oh boy, I sure do love my cool name Leon. Resident Evil 4 launches. Yeah. Wow, Yoland is now live. God, I really hope that's not in the video producer for Twitch. I mean, I guess if I export, it's not going to be that big a deal. There's going to be like a 2-second VOD that is just like, okay, this one doesn't matter. I don't think I've ever had a name that gets more popular. Says walking, look inside, no walking. One joke. One joke. We're at Twist. No, today is a tech issue day. I've watched 2 streams that have had OBS issues. That 2 other streams, or is mine included in that? Hi. 3 streams total? Okay. That shitty world boss? I got loot from him. I got loot from that guy. Hell yeah, we love week 1 world boss loot. The waste. Why the fuck does the expansion, or the patch, that has the, like, legendary waste wrap for you have a world boss that gives you a fucking waste? God damn it, Blizzard. Was it good loot? No. No, it was not. It was immediately thrown away. I guess, okay. So the way it works, Gana, with War Within, they, there have been, like, 3 major patches, plus the initial patch, or initial expansion. The initial expansion, you just had your loot. I think it's 17 item slots total. You've got head, neck, shoulders, cape, chest piece, bracers, gloves, belt, legs, boots, both your rings, both your trinkets, and then your weapons, which could be a 2-hander or a 1-hander and an offhand. When the first patch came out, they gave you a ring. It's basically a legendary ring that you, like, do quests to increase the item level of, and you can kind of, like, socket it with special things, and it's like, the rings you're getting at this time are, like, 620 max, and then there's this ring that, like, goes up to 660 or 670 or something. So it's way better than anything you can get that's, like, a natural ring. The next patch, the Undermine, comes out, and they give you a belt. This thing goes up to, like, 710 or something. This thing is, like, really, really good. Hi, Oni? And, like, the typical loot you can get during this time is, like, 665 or 670 max. It's way better than any piece of, like, belt gear you can get. The newest raid patch has come out, and they give you a cloak. So, like, now, any cloak that drops in this expansion is useless, because the new cloak that you get is, like, 715 or something crazy high. But I got... I'm gonna sneeze. Yeah. I still have that waist piece, because the gear I'm getting is, like, 660 to 690. Can you equip all these items at once? Yes, but you can't equip 2 things in the same slot. So, I got a waist from the world boss that is 688. But I already have a waist from the world boss that is like 691 or 700 or something. So it's just a downgrade. The new world boss loot I got, which most of my character's gear is 660. A 688 should have been like, whoa, this is incredible. Any other piece of loot, it would have been like a massive upgrade, but it landed on the one of the 3 pieces, technically 2, because the ring's really old at this point. It landed on one of the 2 pieces. It's just like, great, this is worthless. And so it's like, damn it, come on. I need to clear my nose. Ugh, sniffles. Hez walking, look inside. I'm lucky no one ever uses my name. You are adorable. Oi. 3 streams total. What was a good loot? It was shoved back in the boss. Add 2, also the boss is easy, just phase dive and then beat its cheeks while it doesn't fight back for like 30 seconds. See, I didn't phase dive while fighting it, so I couldn't hit the ads between phases, but I could hit him? I feel like they should give you a way to phase dive next to the thing, but I got druid leggies. Ring should have been replaced like a couple weeks into Undermine. Yeah, if you were actively raiding Undermine. Guess who wasn't? Hi. Yulin Desu. Ugh, that's so dumb. I can wear as many shirts as I want just because you want to wear a bikini and call it a shirt. Doesn't mean I should also be allowed one top. I just finished the first panda raid and actually got loot this time. Not just all plate. Yippee! Hi Techno. Hi Pixel. I wasn't either. Dude. So he's a little buggy. I don't know if you knew this, Ty. I went and fought him. Wasn't phase dived. Couldn't hit any of the ads. Couldn't hit him while he was at his 20% phases. Hi Senril. And I was literally just standing around like, damn, how is everybody attacking the ads? I'm in Discord yesterday, and I'm like, this was weird, I couldn't attack the ads. And somebody in the group, in the call just goes, the fuck do you mean you couldn't attack the ads? You just hit them. And then 3 people go, yeah, I couldn't attack the ads either. What the fuck was that about? And we're like, wait, what? This is an issue? I think the first week, we got like 3 pieces that weren't plate. Oh god, that sucks. Hi Dino Zoomies. What was Umi's playing yesterday? I think it was Uma. I think Dino Zoomies was playing Umi yesterday, and I watched a little bit of it. But it was mid Xenoblade, so I was very inactive in their chat. What was I gonna do? We're at hamstring. That's right. That's right. Hugh Sagat. Morning, Lynn. This is my second double shift, Lynn. Are you feeling okay? I'm good. I'm good. A little congested. Hi, Qme. But overall good. It's Friday, so I'm happy for everybody getting to the weekend. Wave. I think the first week we got like 3 pieces that weren't plate. Happy Friday, y'all. What are you pouting about, Qme? What are you pouting about? Dude, I hate... It's Saturday. Silence, Australian. I hate that I can, like, blow my nose 10 times before going live. I put the headset on, and the pressure on my nose is just like, alright, start draining. Dude, come on! In an effort to get ever closer to splits, we widen our legs a little each day. Ow, this hurts. Because you were blowing the wrong thing? Yeah, okay, buddy. Bonk. Ow, this hurts. Ow. I put on any headset and my nose goes, hey, you're really fucking itchy now. Hi, Joe. When the headset pushes directly on your sinuses, that's gonna happen. Yeah, it just sucks. It's like... It's literally like... I will grab the water bottle from yesterday. I will go and fill it up. I will then take my morning medicine. I take a pill every morning. And then I will fill the water filter. Like, I will refill the water and put that in the fridge. While that's filling, because technically it's like a little bit more than just the filter. I have to fill it, wait a little bit to filter some, and then fill it a bit more. While it's doing that, I just go to the bathroom and just, like, blow my nose. And I'll get to a point where it's like, I'm perfectly clear. There's not a drop in my nose. And I put the headset on, and it's like, okay, there was clearly drops in my nose. This stinks. That's why it hurts. You push too hard right under your cheekbones? Under your cheekbones? I didn't know your cheekbones were connected to your sinuses. Maybe I'm misunderstanding. Devil Gana. What are we at? We're at, toe touches. You know, I love Twilight Princess. Your sinus has 6 pockets. I love Twilight Princess. This Lake Hylia kind of fucking sucks. It's just like a hole in the rock, so you can't go anywhere around it, and then it's just, there's the waterfall over there. I'm kind of in the way. But there's the shrine. Can you see it? You kind of can see. You can see the snake statue here. Lake Hylia kind of sucks in Twilight Princess. And Kyra's gonna be like, I told you the overworld sucks. It stinks. I think just Lake Hylia is a little boring. It's cool with the bridge above it, though. The bridge fight's fucking awesome. Forehead, below eyes, and cheek or something? Oh. Strickland maintained off to Orkland. Euland Manuel Miranda. Canyon Puddle Hylia. Morning Techno. I'm getting really close to, like, just blowing my nose. Ugh. 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 Bro, I don't even have to say it. You don't. Because you say it every fucking time. It's like a stim. It's like a fucking pre-programmed response with you. I'm gonna blow my nose. I'm gonna blow my nose. Ugh. This place sucks. It's the perfect place to stream. Well, I've never walked here. I've never, like, done my walking part. I've done other parts of Twilight Princess. We've done Gerudo Valley a shit ton. We've done in front of the mansion a few times. I think we've done Zora's Domain 2 or 3 times. Hi, GC Josh. Hi, Kayla. We've done Kakariko Village. We've never done Death Mountain. Death Mountain is one that, like, it feels really good to run around there in the game, but looking at it in VR, it feels very compact and, like, there's not a lot to showcase. There's not, like, a big spanning view that I can put the camera in front of that's like, dude, check this out. It's like, here's a rock wall. There's the hot springs, and there's a lot of Gorons there, so it feels lively and cool when you're there in Twilight Princess. But in VR, they don't have the NPCs. And so you go there and it's just like, this kind of sucks here. A rock, holy shit. Almost the weekend and finally cooler temps. Been consistently 100 Fahrenheit this whole week. Jesus. What, that you're not walking? Glad it's catching on. Okay, dude, not late. Something something below me and said this game followed Wind Waker, where every place you can physically walk is a point of interest. I mean, that's just Legend of Zelda games, isn't it? That's like every single thing you go to is like, there has to be something there until Breath of the Wild. I brought a can of bland pinto beans along. Oh. Because Skyward Sword was like that. Every single island at least has like one of those little dumb invisible chests on it. That's just... I can't think of a Legend of Zelda game before Breath of the Wild that just has non-used spaces. Oh. Gimme stretch. Oh, my shoulder popped. Ugh. Okay, go show me things. Okay, go show me the things to go to in Hyrule Field here. Bugs. Gold and silver bugs. In every field, there's at least 4. Might have to try and play StarCraft Nexus tonight after work. If I can't play it, I'm gonna cry because my friend gifted me Ultimate Edition for my birthday on the 4th. That's awesome. I hope it works. It's the same as Hyrule Field in Ocarina of Time. Or Majora's Mask. Like, it's a big open field with some stuff. Every now and then you'll find a hole. You'll find a chest. You'll find a little side quest here. You know, the dancing girls. Or I guess the dancing girl's tutor. This is pretty much the same. It's not the most adventurous, it's not the most crazy open field, but it's fine, it's there. Hi, Riddle. Every field has like 4 golden bugs in it. I finished Breath of the Wild yesterday. I overprepared as fuck for Ganon, it was too easy, Lamau. Ganon is balanced around you do the 4 divine beasts and maybe a few shrines to get like 10-ish hearts. And like if you do it at that stage, he'd still probably feel a little easy. He can be a bit of a challenge if you skip the divine beasts. If you did every side quest, if you did every shrine, every side quest, stocked up on shit, I don't think there's a boss in Legend of Zelda that you can over-prepare for more than Calamity Ganon. Have you played the game where you are Chibi and it's tile-based? Nope. I don't even know which one that is. You know you have bugs. Yeah, oh god, Agatha. Which one? You'll have bugs. Hi, Riddle. I hope so. It was on sale for 20. Hi, Yulin. I got the thingy that lets me work stone. I got a respirator, spray printer grade with replaceable filters. Hell yeah. Wow, the bugs, okay. What do you do with those bugs? You bring them to Agatha. It's a huge collection quest. Did you never do the bug collection in Twilight Princess? Riddle hug. I don't know, I just seen like an hour of gameplay for it, and I can't remember what game it was. Hi, Leon, happy to see you, and let me say hi to me. Hi, Nick. Is that the cute and adorable you and I see? It is. Okay, okay. Part of me wants to say Nikki. Part of me wants to say Nisify. Part of me wants to say Nisifib. I'm gonna take a real leap here. I'm gonna say Nisifib. Hi, Nisifib. You tell me how you want me to say it, and I'll say it that way. But my first guess is Nisifib. I had 24 hearts and 3 stamina wheels and a master sword upgrade. Yeah, you were fucking ready for him. Hi, Roxas. Hi, Kayla. I got 2 sides with a base deep 95% filter and can use 95 to 99.97% filters I can swipe out. Hell yeah. Hi, Cairo, Morning Riddle. How are you? And I'm good, I'm good. Yes, what is the point of collecting them? Hi, Roxas. Hi, Riddle. It's a side quest. You're asking what the point of a side quest is, Cairo. Like, what do you mean? It's a great way to get rupees, and it's a side quest to increase your wallet size, I think. You can just apply this to any quest. Like, what's the point of holes in Ocarina of Time? What's the point of the Invisi-chests in Skyward Sword? It's just something to do in the game. It fills the world. I feel like this is a hypocritical criticism of Twilight Princess Overworld in this case. Yeah, Nisifieb. Today is perfect. I tend to change the pronunciation depending on my expression for the day today. I see. Hi, Harley. Kyra's best cutie. All the awesome people here. My friend psyched me out like, dude, Calamity Ganon is so fucking hard, I never finished the game. And I was like, Patchy the Pirate, that was it? And what is there to spend all that money on in TP? The Malo Mart, Cairo. Calamity Ganon, Leon, on normal mode, is very easy. So if you fight Calamity Ganon with the 4 beasts, he kind of just goes to 50% health and falls over. Magic armor for when you have no use for rupees. Nah, this is another problem with TP. I like how you, like, just were given an answer that's like, this, you use it for this, and you're just like, well, actually, no, this is a problem with TP. Yeah, okay, buddy. It's 1000% oversaturated with rupees with no sync other than the magic armor. I'd have to look at it again. I would happily take a game with no rupee sync, and too many rupees to get than, a big rupee sync that, sucks. Like, I'd rather have no rupee sync than, Triforce charts. Calamity Ganon. If you skip the beasts, it's pretty much the same fight, but just more health, and so it's not really increasing in difficulty. However, Leon, Master Mode Calamity Ganon, that guy is like, holy shit. Master Mode Calamity Ganon is not so much difficult in that you feel threatened, but difficult in that if you fuck up, he heals a lot. Because you know how Calamity Ganon works. He gets the shield, and you have to reflect a laser or parry a sword attack to break the shield, right? If you miss any of those, his health bar just goes, and it's just like, oh, this sucks. And so it's like, you need to reflect a laser, do 10% of his health. You need to parry his sword swipe, 10% of his health. Reflect the next laser, 10% of his health. And if you miss any of those, he heals like 50% plus. And it's like, it's very punishing to fuck up on that fight. Sorry, please just give a veto if you call me Nick. I don't mean to be rude. I have struggles with that name. It's 1000%. Go to 50% health, then fall over. Sound like me. Think you're underestimating the amount of stuff to buy in Malomart? Underestimating or overestimating? Granted, I never used the magic armor. Me, once I step into work, I'd have to, like, look into Twilight Princess again to be like, what was there to spend rupees on? Because I haven't played the game in, like, 15 years, but... What's the point of the side quest where you have to the Twilight Realm? If you stop Minda being a bratty imp, it calls you a good doggy, bad side quest. That is a main quest, Smile, not a side quest. Or may I please pet the tail? Triforce charts are also bad. Yeah, but that's the opposite side. What I'm saying is, like, if you have nothing to spend rupees on, that's... Well, I don't think that's a problem. You do. But if you have too much money and not enough rupees to get, we both agree that's a problem. You're saying both sides are a problem, and I'm saying only this one over here is a problem. Base Wind Waker has the inverse problem. Fuck them out. I don't think I'm going to do Master Mode. Master Mode is fun. It's just harder. You guys know Yulin had finished Master Mode. So talented. Okay. Now, is health regen is a pain in a game with weapon durability? Yeah. If there's one thing I would change to Breath of the Wild to make it perfect, well, at least perfect in my eyes, I'd make it so that you could get an unbreakable weapon. Specifically, I'd make it so that there's a 5th Great Fairy that you could go to, have a really high cost based on the weapon you're upgrading, and basically lock a weapon's durability. So if it's like a club, 12 damage, not a very good weapon, I wouldn't have it cost that much. Have it cost like some Hinox toes, one of your hearts, of 500 rupees or something. Just easy materials that are valuable, but not necessarily like, holy shit. Whereas, and I would put weapons into like tier 1, tier 2, or tier 3. This would be a tier 1 weapon. A tier 3 weapon would be like a Royal Claymore, where you bring it to a Great Fairy and you're like, I want to freeze this thing. And she's like, okay. This is gonna cost 3 hearts, 3 diamonds, a horn from Din the dragon. Like just materials that are like, holy shit, this is a fucking quest to get. But you're going to get a weapon with, it doesn't break. It doesn't have limited durability. Is Elend a good doggy? No! You want to do a 50-day of hard version trial of the sword? No. Unskippable side quest important to make us. God, I'm literally just never gonna catch up. I need to read and squat. Would do both forms. I feel like there's some serious rupee sinks in TP. I had to ration bugs to Agatha to prevent filling the wallet and getting nothing. I remember doing it too. I remember like going to Agatha, turning into bugs, and her being like, I know you have bugs, and then I would go spend them, and then I would come back and like turn in more bugs. I remember her being upset that I wasn't giving her all the bugs each time. On a main quest, I refused to finish it. What the fuck? Lock it at 1 durability, high riddle. Well, that wouldn't really, I guess you'd technically do more damage if you threw it, but that's if it breaks specifically. Just forge a god like the horse god to revive horses. Now, both are 100% a problem because you open a million chests in TP. Just put rupees back. I think there's gold sinks, Cairo. I remember gold sinks in this game. Save them for New Game Plus. Hinox, is that a giant centaur? No, it's a big, like, ogre giant thing. They look like a bokoblin, just 30 feet tall. They should revamp TP again and add a post portion for them to change between Bratty and True Form. And still call you a good doggy. The big guy with one eye, the Hinox is a Cyclops. I need to play Genshin of the Wild. It's good, highly recommend. We've done 1 squad. We've done 1 squad. 1, 2, 3, 4. I found a Royal Claymore spawn spot near the Zora place. I always had at least 1 on me. For me, it was, I remember using a Zora Claymore. There was a Zora Claymore right behind the shrine in the middle of the Zora Domain City. And so, like, every single time there was a blood moon, I would teleport there and, like, go and pick up my sword. A whole 1 squad on a roll. We've done 3. We've done 3. What other weapons? There was, like, a shield I always went to if I need. I think it was in the Gerudo Valley. There was, like, a cave that had 2 shields in it or something. I don't remember where I was picking. Oh, I think I got a sword. I got a great flame blade on this. No, that one didn't respawn, I think. I don't remember. Bratty is the true form. I do remember I had like 3 spots for Breath of the Wild that was like, this is where a weapon spawns, Blood Moon happens, yoink, 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 which I don't think is particularly good gameplay, but I'm doing another Zelda tier list. And a drill shaft spawn spot in the mountain. I use a map to find that one. I need my drill shaft. I always had a sledgehammer on me, specifically for mining. And then if I found a drill shaft, I would take that instead of sledgehammer. But I knew a sledgehammer spawn. I don't think I knew any drill shaft spawns. Yeah, it's Midna. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's a great flame blade spawn in the Skull North Leviathan skeleton I found. I remember the one in the tree stump. There's like the really thick tree near Hyrule Castle that's like been cut. It's like a stump. And you go across the bridge and there's some enemies there. And the first time you go there, there's a great flame blade that's kind of like a it's kind of like stuck in the stump like it's Excalibur or something. But I don't think that one respawns. Hi, Stalking. Girl's alive right now. Hello and have a good walk. Thank you. What is she playing? What does she even play? Dishonored. Dishonored is one of those games that I've heard about so much and I've never actually played. So I'm like, oh yeah, what are the things about that game? Excalibrimbor? What is Excalibrimbor? 7. Hell yeah, Dishonored, Pog game. Dishonored is good. Eye stalking. I think my friend Full is way into Dishonored. Maybe it's Vindictus. I don't remember. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're gonna knock these out real quick. Fun is just thief, but you kill less people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are gonna go heavy into Xenoblade discussion as soon as I get walking. Because holy shit, do I have a lot to say about Xenoblade. Yesterday was a fucking session, if ever there was one. 36:30, 39:30 end. Three minutes. My last playthrough. I tried to do a no-kill run, but I tranked a guard on a rooftop who fell face first in water and was eaten by piranhas. It was so funny I couldn't reload. You don't have to kill less people, but the game lets you know immediately you're getting a bad ending if you murder too many people. Oh. The guards just want to die so badly. Oh my god, Lyn is on his knees. What the fuck, Riddle? I said. We played for about 4 hours yesterday. And I think I was less salty than I've been in other sessions. But everything that could go wrong for me did go wrong for me. Everything that could have gone wrong in Xenoblade yesterday fucking happened. Xenoblade is weird. It's a game that I love. Like, I genuinely do like and enjoy this game. But it's like, I can't give it a good score because it has so much jank to it that I'm like, I want to say it's like a 9 out of 10. But really, I'd give it like a 6 of 10. Maybe a 6.5. That boss really did a number on you. That boss was so fucking frustrating. Halfway. We're halfway there. Dead people make rats. Rats make monsters. You kill people, you get monsters, and the game is harder. What? Oh, okay. So killing people just makes more monsters spawn. Okay. Man, the plank is kind of fucking hard today. 2 minutes down. 1 more minute to go. Sits on you and no! Dishonored, the monsters are kind of like zombies, I guess. My first play, I killed everyone. There are rats and zombies everywhere. It was so fucking hard. That's a cool mechanic. My plank is always hard. If my plank was soft, I would worry about water damage. Okay, buddy. 30 seconds. Almost there. 20 seconds. None of these tier lists are new enough to have echoes of wisdom. 15. You're making a tier list now? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. But they have shit like BS Zelda Limo? Just add it, Cairo. Just add it yourself. Any tier list will like have a button that you can just add it yourself. Killing people makes the first missions easy, but the later missions hard. Waterproof the planks. VS Zelda is better than the CDI games. Don't move, Elin. Zelda 2, top tier. What's an Echo of Wisdom? Deadlin? Echoes of Wisdom is the most recent Legend of Zelda game. It was not good. It was an okay game. It was, I'd say, a bad Legend of Zelda game. Not even like mediocre. I would just say it was bad. It was an interesting concept, but it was very much a side game. It's very much not a mainline, hi Hobbit, mainline Zelda game because, like, one, you play Zelda. Two, it is very heavily puzzle focused. And not the standard Legend of Zelda format. Why join you're laying down and bad-mouthing Zordo? I am only bad-mouthing Echoes of Wisdom. It's a wisdom that got echo, like the echoes in Rain World. I don't think it has anything to do with Rain World riddle. There was an after Breath of the Wild 2? Yes! They did my girl Zelda dirty. Finally gets a game and it's just spawning beds. Stack beds win. It's a game where you play as Zelda. But it is, it's almost like it didn't get the full testing phase it needed. It just, it's lacking a lot. Respawn. Bloop. Nope, I need to go this way. We're gonna be here. We're gonna be here. It's an interesting idea, but boy, the spawn menu. Anchor World. Okay. You guys look that way. I'm gonna turn my trackers around. Ugh. Ugh. Hi, Leon. I think it could be really good if it were a 3D game. I think it would have been really good as a 3D game. I think it would have been really good if there was a lot of restrictions on it. Like, being able to completely circumvent a temple because Lamau you can spider just sucks. That just stinks. Calibrate. Okay. Do you know about BS Zelda and Ancient Stone Tablets, actually? I don't. I don't know what the BS acronym is for. Like, actual nerd knowledge? I can't say that I do. Okay. We hit start. Yes, wake the machine. Don't have Wi-Fi. I don't have Wi-Fi. And we're walking. We're walking through Vashir to start with. This is one of the first zones in Cataclysm. Which, God, that was the third expansion? That's like 16 years ago at this point. The music takes a while to kick in for this one. It always freaks me out. What if Zelda was a girl? It's an interesting idea. I think it could really 3D. Elon, do you know about BS Zelda? That's like actual nerd knowledge. There was DLC. There was not DLC for Breath of the Wild 2. Forest Armor. It's BS Zelda because it's for the BSX. What the fuck is a BSX? It's Friday, my guys. This is a fun zone. Your machine use Wi-Fi? Yes. Hope you have a wonderful and nothing bad happens to you. The machine uses Wi-Fi, Riddle. I don't have it hooked up because I'm in like the opposite corner of the basement to the Wi-Fi, so it's very spotty signal. I feel like I would just be dealing with, you know, disconnected, reconnecting constantly. Why are we underwater? And why is Yulin not panicking? Because I don't see myself underwater, Riddle. I see myself still in VR chat. I see myself here. This is what I'm seeing. This is like watching, to me, watching Vashir like this is like watching SpongeBob. Like, it's just, I'm not placing myself there. Hi, Smug. Oh boy, walking time. There was no DLC for Breath of the Wild? Riddle. Riddle. You said Breath of the Wild 2, and then you said Breath of the Wild. There's two very different things. There's Breath of the Wild, and then Tears of the Kingdom. Which is, well, okay, Gana said Breath of the Wild 2. Breath of the Wild 2 is just the snarky way of saying Tears of the Kingdom, which is a completely different game. Breath of the Wild was 2016. Tears of the Kingdom was... Oh god. Was that 2023? The Cellaview, Yuli, the BSX is the cartridge? I don't know that I've heard of that either. Hi Joe, clever girl. Am I speaking Chinese? Not necessarily Chinese, just, you know, stuff I haven't heard of. Not recording videos in 180 VR SMH. I need to play Tears of the Kingdom now. My poor backlog. Tears of the Kingdom is separated? Yes, it's just a completely different game, Riddle. Also a completely different fucking storyline for some fucking reason, but that's a whole other thing. It's not snarky, I just forget the name of Tears of the Kingdom. It kind of is, because it discredits Tears of the Kingdom, right? When you just call it, oh, it's Breath of the Wild 2, it really isn't. It's not, like, disrespectful or snarky, because, like you said, you just called it Breath of the Wild 2 because you didn't remember the TOTK acronym. But, like, it's one of those things where... Imagine two brothers. The older brother is Matt, and the younger brother is, what's their name? Matt 2, right? Everybody knows their name isn't Matt 2. But if you said that to, like, a teacher at school, they'd be like, Matt 2? Oh, so you're Matt's younger brother, right? And it's like, I'm my own person, damn it! It's kind of like... The creators of Tears of the Kingdom, you know, anybody that worked on that and not Breath of the Wild, or even the people that worked on both would be like, it's its own game. Please don't call it, you know, Breath of the Wild 2. Please don't call it just a DLC or sequel. But, like, for us, it's like, who fucking cares? It's Breath of the Wild 2. Matt 2, your father must have hated you. I'm getting old, chat. Get me my four-wheeler. I'm curious how Breath of the Wild becomes Tears of the Kingdom, but I assume that isn't explained, Lamau. I thought it was a DLC. Stare at Turtle. Think of Turtle Soup, the game after Breath of the Wild. It's very, very weird, Leon. And honestly, if you just went into Tears of the Kingdom, you'd probably be confused. They're just, like, different timelines. It's like... They're very much the same world, but, like, it's almost a what-if question, as like, hey, Breath of the Wild is where this happens. But Tears of the Kingdom is, like, the what-if of this happening. So it's like... Fucking what? There's a weird mismatch. Also, I'm, like, fucking leaning, so I'm, like... I need to recalibrate. But my tracker doesn't look like it's drifting, so... Bellevue is a live service add-on for the Super Famicom. They'll let you download and store games on the BSX. Alright, and there were 2 exclusive Zeldas for it. Not a real Zelda nerd. Anybody that says, like, you're not a real Zelda nerd because you didn't play the BSX Zeldas is like, wow. I can just tell you got swirlies in high school. Matt 2, your father must have hated you. Well, I'm not saying their name is actually Matt 2. That's just like what people would call you, right? Your real name would be like, I don't know, Ryan. But like, people forget your name. So they just call you Matt 2 because your older brother's name is Matt. My older brother's like 9 inches taller than me and looks just like me. I say, he's tall, Liam Lamau. Wasn't even trying to be snarky. I'm not saying you were trying to be snarky, Ganna. I'm not saying... Oh, my goodness. You're taking this the wrong way. They don't necessarily retcon Breath of the Wild. They kind of just outright ignore it. Classic Zelda. And Tears of the Kingdom is the one where you make a settlement around a goddess statue? The fuck is a settlement? Why the fuck would I want to play those, Lamau? I don't know. I guess to be the true Zelda fan. I've played like 7 or 8 games. Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, Skyward Sword, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, Spirit Tracks. Settlement. Okay. A city/settlement around a goddess statue. I mean, sort of yes, Riddle, but like... That's in... That's in both Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom? Like, every city has a goddess statue in both games. Bro, if I was a true Zelda fan, play the CDI games too. Fucking Tingle Fun Pack and Rosie Rupee Land bullshit. Link, my boy. They'd play the Zelda Gold cartridge. I ain't playing all that. I had a gold cartridge for Majora's Mask. I think I still have it. I sold my Nintendo 64 and all of the games, but I kept Majora's Mask I think I kept Majora's Mask and Banjo-Tooie just because it was like, I literally just want these just to, like, have them. I see Ancient Stone Tablets like a master mode for ALTTP. What is ALTTP? I'm failing at that acronym. Spinning the gold items look ass in Majora's Mask, Lamau. So you're talking about, like, the Gilded Sword? A Link to the Past? Okay. I need to go check Breath of the Wild and TOTK lore. It's... Link to the Past. Yes, but no. Dude, I look like I'm, like... It looks like I'm just leaning left. I'm like, why? This thing... I think it is drifting, actually. We're gonna turn this sucker off and on again. Okay. Hopefully we don't drift anymore. I really need to just spend a day and update my base stations and, like, I don't know, figure out if one of them actually is dying, because this is annoying. Wait, why is it like that? Same with BS Zelda and OG Zelda. Nice pun to A Link to the Past. Yes, Riddle. Drift and fall in my arms. In Japan, A Link to the Past was called Triforce of the Gods, but Nintendo America shushed all the religious references. I've told you about the pastor that was a teacher at my school, right? He taught some Bible classes, and he was one of my friend's father. He would not let my friend play Legend of Zelda games because he was like, these games are created by a cult that use the proceeds from, you know, the sales of these games to then like fund their religion. This is how they like you know, pay for the stuff for their cult. They worship the 3 goddesses and believe in the sacred realm. And it was like, I remember thinking this teacher was cool, he was nice. And then I was like, Jordan, did you play the new Twilight Princess game? No. My dad believes this. Fucking what? Huh? I think it's already drifting. I think I'm already drifting. Like, I look down and it is not matching. Ah. Until Yuli back in 2011 would have hated Xenoblade. Make a world with no need for gods. Would I have hated it or loved it? Oh, Dad. This game is made by a cult. Also, Dad. Hell yeah, oil. I don't know where the oil thing is coming from, Riddle. The guy was... He was good at portraying himself as smart and rational. But, man. He had some... He had this one really weird religious take that was like... He was the type of Christian that was like, okay, forgiveness is not a thing given freely by Christ and God. When you accept Jesus and ask them into your heart, you are not forgiven. You're only forgiven if you truly had penance and like followed him. And so if you were like to truly earn forgiveness, you had to like become a perfect Christian. You were only forgiven once you had become perfect as a human. And until then, you know, you weren't truly asking for forgiveness. You hadn't earned it yet. Which is very, like, heretical to most denominations in Christianity. But he believed that, and a few students that were very close to him, he kind of pushed that onto them and got them to believe that also. It actually became a huge point of drama later on at school. Hi, Logitech. This fucking tracker, dude. This fucking tracker. I was just talking about this yesterday. I hate it when a streamer has scuff and they won't stop talking about it. You guys don't understand my immersion. Am I like right up in your face? I am right now. Calibrate. My immersion cries. When did you stop being an incel, LOL? It was kind of 2 stages. And also having drifting issues with my waist. Gonna try swapping with a foot to see if it's tracker or base itch. Oh, that's a good idea. You know, I was very devout, hardcore Christian. You know, youth group in church 2 to 3 times a week. Read through the Bible twice. When I was 18 and I went off to college, and I started taking some science courses that very quickly discredited all the things I had been taught about evolution and science from a Christian perspective, that was when I took a step back, and I started, like, I kept calling myself a Christian, but I definitely wasn't living the life. And then, I'd say around the age of 25, I renounced my religion, but I still had a lot of conditioning. I still had a lot of, like, Christian upbringing mentality things. I still kinda do, but, I try to recognize them and kind of cut those out. But definitely when I was, like, 25, 27, there were things that was like, I don't like furries. Because they aren't natural. They go against, you know, what is intended for our lives. Oh, so you believe in God and, you know, an intended plan, an intended, you know, creation purpose. No. But at the same time, if you're going against that, I think less of you, right? Weird hypocritical stuff like that at that age. When I was about 28, I got into VR chat, and I started meeting a lot of these people, right? I didn't like trans people, and then I met Core. And Core was like, oh, very, very eye-opening for many, many things to me. I didn't like furries. And then I went to a furry meetup party in VR, where it was like a room of like 30 furries, and they're all just nice. And I'm like, why do I dislike these people? This is like, they're just nice people. What the fuck? VR chat and Twitch was kind of like the end of Incel Euland, where it's like, really, you're really meeting a lot more people now. Your perspective is not so isolated and insular, and you just are fucking meeting people, and that perspective has just fucking changed me drastically. Oh. Hi, Trogdor. That puts us at 3.
This isn't for inclined, just buying you booze.
What? I'm not up with the Christ lore. But isn't that exactly what Jesus is about? Forgiveness despite flaws? Yeah, Lamau? It was a very heretical and fringe take on very specific verses. It actually caused 2 of the teachers to kind of have a big blowout fight that resulted in one of them not being rehired as a teacher the next year. Been also having drifting issues with my waist. Gonna try swapping with a foot, see if it's tracker base stations. My God, give forgiveness free. Because he knows some lunatics will say some crazy shit like, only by whipping yourself will you get it. I love hearing crack religion takes. You'll take my dinosaurs out of my cold dead hands. You is not a youth leader? But I can also see why you won't take that spot. I have no idea what you're talking about, Riddle. Meanwhile, furries. I wear a fun mascot suit to make you smile. Bro, the best crack take is when leaders say, God don't like the poor. Please kill me. That's a problem. We need less me. Apparently Walmart sells fursuits now? Holy. That's crazy, because, like, I feel like a fursuit... Hi, Octomage. A fursuit has to be custom made. It has to be tailored to your personality, right? I mean, I guess you could get, like, a generic wolf suit and then paint it. But that's, like... That's crazy to just, like... Yeah, I don't really care about, you know, my OC. Any fursuit will do. I feel like that's very against what it means to be furry. Because my understanding of being a furry is... It is all about the outward expression of things you feel inside. True heretics, their ass will not see the kingdom of heaven. God hates the forest. Multiple stories of Jesus harassing the rich fucking with temples. Oh, Hobbit, it's crazy. You talk about social systems, you talk about giving to the poor, you talk about feeding people that aren't working. And Christians just hate that shit. They hate that shit, they hate the gays. And it's like, okay, dude. You've got like 3 verses that talk about being gay. You've got literally 1,000 plus about giving to the poor. You are cherry picking here. Christians don't like hearing that. Fear be buying the shitty Walmart fursuit and dying in the heat. True. I also know a ton of femboy on Twitch that also changed my way of thinking. Go deeper looking for what crazy people say. Oh, I like that. Yes, the man born to the working class hates the poor. Alright, we talking about God? A little bit. Cairo is being like, when did you stop being an incel? And I was like, okay, well, the serious answer is... Doesn't look too bad, to be honest. Oh, no. Love that guy. It's an actual fursuit, not a mascot. What? If I speak, I just like the knot. I'm happy for you, Smile. I think the knot is a fun toy. I think as a toy, it's like, sure. Would I actually ever want to deal with one? I don't know about that. If I was dating somebody, and they're like a normal person, they're like, by the way, I got a weird knot dick, I'd probably still be okay, because I care about the person more than the parts, but that'd be like, whoa, what the fuck? Oh shit, these Walmart fursuits look not too bad. Only like $300 for Halloween? Yeah, sure, buddy. It's okay, I'll tone the religion talk down. Surely it won't come up again. Xeno series. Just don't get Ewan to talk about his political hot takes. I mean... I feel like my political hot takes are... not that radical. I believe that letting people starve and letting billionaires collect too much money is bad. Apparently that makes me radical, but, you know, I think that's somewhat normal. My take, I think furries can make a cool 40k Space Marine suit. Ah, yes, Halloween in August. Oh, hey, Gigas got an update. New Gigas? Ooh. You know, has very much lukewarm left side takes. There's definitely people that go further than me. I feel like there's definitely some things I can say that's like... this would upset people. You know, get me talking about 1%, get me talking about Luigi, get me talking about stuff like that, and I could probably upset some people, but... don't judge me. I thought the Gigas was the large person. It is! You have different abilities, Gana. So, like, you can be... am I already drifting still? Fuck. There were 3 different Gigas that had 3 different sets of abilities, and now there's a 4th one, I think. Well, again, it looks like their special thing is just releasing Beyblades onto the map. Oh! Not a bad thing, Don't get American left and right. Very different from global political fields. Like our stance on guns, globally, leftist thing. American, far right thing. Yeah. We're just not left and right, but far right and little right. I would agree with that. The Democratic Party, I would say, is not very representative of most Democrats in the US. All over the spectrum. The ones in power? Yeah, that sounds about right. Accurate. Far left, far right. Bitch, I'm farting. Okay, Cairo. I would say the bigger issue is not left and right. It's up and down. It's rich and poor. And for the most part, the left and right is mostly just used to, like, pit us against each other and distract us. Which fucking stinks. But it's real easy to get mad at the other side. It's real easy to, like, see the right do certain things, vote certain ways, and be like, okay, I know we're supposed to be on the same side and, like, come together and, like, be against the rich people oppressing us, but god damn, what the fuck is wrong with you? Hi, non-dairy. I'm gonna be real, I don't do politics because it stresses me the fuck out. I fucking hate politics. I hate thinking about politics, I hate talking about politics. But the problem is it doesn't go away. And the more you, like, ignore it, just the worse it is for you. And so it's one of those things, it's like, I hate it, but it's necessary. It's so bad to be ignorant of politics, because that's just how you get taken advantage of. Like, it took me 2 to 3 years of research to build a PC. How much does it need to vote for the country? It's not really a thing in the US. A lot of countries typically have, like, a Labor Party. And that's typically where I fall. I feel lucky I've built PCs my whole life. My current one, I slap together like, yeah, good enough. I have experience building PCs. I've built 2 at this point. So I'm not really, like, that scared to put a PC together. However, I only do it every 5 to 6 years, so when it does happen, I'm like, oh, now I'm nervous. But, like, when I think about it, I'm like, you know, buying the parts, yeah, sure, no biggie. Once I have all the parts in front of me, I'm like, oh, God, okay, I want help with this. Holy. Things drifting even more than before. We're gonna try calibrating again. I don't know what to do if this persists all day. Because it's like, it's drifting really fast. You won't stop checking out your junk? I'm not. I've only built like 2 in the past 12 years, but I used to do surgery on shitty gateways all the time. Half agree that it's more rich versus poor thing, but hard to ignore rights being taken away by the right. Lots of people as Louisiana lost access to HRT because of Planned Parenthood closing shop there. See, I see that as the same thing, Micaiah. I see that as like, it's not left versus right, it's rich versus poor. And then the rich are like, trans people are the problem. And the left is going, no, it's not. Trans people are like an incredibly small minority. And if you look at the numbers, you know, they're not the ones abusing kids. Despite that being the argument that trans people are a threat to kids. They're not the ones hurting kids. It's fucking Republicans, pastors, political people, cops, teachers. And the right is sitting there going, oh, we gotta stop those fucking trans people. And you're like, what? No, you fucking... Stop listening to them. So it's like... It's very much them making it... It's very much the rich making an enemy out of trans people. And the right, who should be focusing on their own fucking rights, their own fucking healthcare, their own fucking, like, wages. Instead, just being like, yup, the guy on Fox News told me it's trans people are the problem, and it's like, oh my god, you fucking idiot. That's my stance on, like, rich, poor, left, right. It's very hard to, like, hey, guys on the right, hand in hand, we need to work together. They are literally pitting us against each other. When it just feels like they're not getting it and just fucking backhanding us. Yolan, did you move your station? No. Putting it together was stressful than picking the parts for me. Then I ended up getting an Asus ROG Mobo 9800 X3D. Found out that was like the worst combo of all time. I didn't put any stress into picking the parts because I had someone do that for me. Hi, Emma. Holidays are back. Holidays are back. Hi, Ronmu. Do you think Zanza would be a Midwestern conservative? If it should work, it's fine. I've seen people run an AMD and an NVIDIA GPU with the same mobile MO. Well, Gana has that, Leon. And it has very much been a problem for them. I'm not the problem, I'm just a problem. But those people have money, so they must know what they are talking about. Oh, God. When you, like... When you try to explain to somebody that, like, a billionaire does not deserve their money, that they did not work hard for it, it's such an uphill battle because they're just like, what? No. They worked hard. They worked smart. Of course they deserve all that money. And I'm working hard and smart. Someday I could have that too. And it's like, you are so much closer to being homeless than ever being a billionaire. You're fucking delusional. What are you talking about? You just said you wanted guys hand in hand. They will never allow that. Oh god. Hi, Chagdor. I need you to remind me. I need to build a PC or buy one. How did you forget that, Riddle? Huh? I mean, like both cards at once? It's fucky, but it works. The difference between a millionaire and a billionaire is $1 billion. Yeah, basically. Not basically. Like, 1/1000th off literally. What I do? Riddle said hi to you. You didn't do anything. Riddle just said hi. Bro, I'm just dead. I love how they teach us to spend money and take risks. Meanwhile, they don't want to spend money. They don't spend their own money on anything. It sucks. The fact that some people can't grasp the concept that they will probably never even have $1 million in savings is wild to me. So to compare themselves to billionaires is just an insane concept. They just don't get it. They just think they're gonna be there someday, and it's like, okay, how much do you have in savings right now? Oh, I've got like $200 in savings. How the fuck do you think you're gonna get there if, like, you're not even doing savings right now, buddy? Like, ugh. Hello. Now that ASRock Mobile is literally killing 9800X 3DS. How many reports of it happening? Over high. What do I walk into about people not deserving money, eh? Okay, so we've been talking a little bit about politics, the left versus right. And me saying the bigger issue is rich versus poor. And them using a lot of media and propaganda to basically create a divide between the left and right. And make them focus on each other. Instead of being like, hey, we need to tax the fucking billionaires. Ah, fuck, what the hell? Sorry. I'm dead overtime 3 days in a row. All good. I've seen a concept that was something like, if you made $500 an hour from the time Christ was born to current, you wouldn't even be the top 100 richest people in America? Numbers may be wrong. No, I've seen the exact same thing. It's, I've seen different variations of it. Hi, Yasu! If you made $20 an hour every single hour, so like 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, no breaks, $20 per hour from literally like 0 AD, 2025 years, you would not even be like a fraction of what Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk has. Agreed. Even Bill Gates says they need to tax rich people more. One of the richest people says they need to be taxed more. Bill Gates, he is one of the better billionaires. I still look at him as like, he's a billionaire. He has not gotten there on the merit of his work. He has gotten there through exploitation of human beings. And he's done some shitty things. You know, the COVID vaccine came out and he was like, patent that shit. Why would you not make money off of it? Patent that shit. And it's like, bro, you should be sharing this. This literally stops. What do you mean, patent it? Bill Gates has done a lot of cool stuff. He's invested a lot in abolishing malaria and other diseases. And so I can't say he's all bad. I would say Bill Gates trips up on stuff. And at the level of money he has, it has astronomical effects. So, it's one of those things where overall he's probably a good person, but it's hard to gauge. I will say, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, way, way worse than fucking Bill Gates. Elon, you don't understand. My shitcoins will be the new Bitcoin. Blame Reagan. That's where things went wrong. He says that. He was against higher taxes in Washington for years. Yeah. Also, his mother was on board of the IBM. He co-created Microsoft Hello. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, but that's more, and you're probably not saying it is. That's a point that he did not get there on his own merit. He got there with like a $500,000 investment from his mom's, basically selling the shit out of his idea to IBM back then. Like, he's done actual philanthropist stuff, which is better in comparison to other billionaires. But he still does some wild-ass stuff that's only in self-interest? Yeah. Hey, Elon, if you had $1 million, what would you do with it? If I had $1 million, I'm buying a house. And then I'm basically streaming like this, but I'm moving out from my parents. I probably would not... Well, where would I go? If I had $1 million... Here's the thing, I don't know if I would go far from them, or if I would go close to friends. Like, I have a lot of friends in Washington that it'd be really nice to be around. Both Selden and Corvu are there. I think Casey is there also. Washington is an immediate, like, I have a lot of friends there and that'd be cool. I don't know. I would get a house. Imagine farmers start trademarking their food. The problem is these guys are so removed from common people, they have no idea what society even is. Crops are trademarked. Farmers can't grow their own seed crops. Yep. Yeah, he's a nepo baby. Oof. Like, he still did the work, but it wasn't luck that got him on the map. Most people around also have got their position because of nepotism. Billy Gates sucks, but at least he could make a half-decent Windows. Like, what the fuck is Win 11? He's going to Thailand, let's go. Elon was a self-made man. He just needed investors, like his parents that had an emerald mind. Washington looks good on paper, but the lack of sunlight gets to you? Logitech. Logitech. Allow me to introduce myself. I don't like sunlight. Washington sounds fucking perfect in that regard. Actually, I don't know that I would buy a house, now that I think about it. I almost might prefer renting. If I could find a place that's, like, a good size for me, that's $2,000 a month, because I don't want to fucking mow my lawn. I don't want to, like, oh, you had hail damage, deal with your roof. Renting might be way better for me. You would buy us a house? The fuck? Huh? For all the stuff Elon says and his father just shuts down. So fucking funny. Wasn't for Elon constantly fucking with everyday US stuff. Put a ring on Elon and then half of it's yours. Elon is a vampire. D vitamin pills, poggers. East Washington is sunny. I live in Washington in a heartbeat, if I could make it there. I love rain, I fucking hate the sun. I'd probably die from Washington weather. That's where I want to eventually be. Get a condo then. Make your roof harder. Townhome, bro. Buy new construction and get insurance, you'll save more in the long run. Here's the thing, whether it's a townhome, a condo, or an apartment, I want it to just be, like, soundproof. I want it to be, like... Well, I'd want fiber internet, and I'd want it to be something that, like, I'm not constantly hearing neighbors. I think it's Soda and Vey that have the fucking high-rise apartment, and that seems really fucking nice. I don't know. That's probably more than 2,000. That's probably like 3,000 to 5,000 a month. Elon vitamins right here. I'm not... All these things can be done with very little investment. What I would want is to be close to a city. Fiber internet. And close to the city would, you know, affect the internet as well as give me good deliveries. Other than that, that's really all I need. I'd prefer to be more north. I'd prefer to deal with cold than hot, but, you know, if I'm staying inside all day, air conditioning. Being more north means less bugs. You know, being in Texas was like, oh, you just get cockroaches. Whereas, like, if I was somewhere up north, that'd be much less of a thing. I refuse to live past the 3rd floor. Anything higher than that freaks me out. Don't want to hear neighbors. Don't like sunlight. Be near a city, I got you. Get a large underground bunker. Man building house in US is no joke, and watching the video of that guy checking the building out for problems. Man, I don't want to buy a house. In Florida, the roaches are the size of stray dogs. We had roaches in Texas. They were kind of bad. They were like thumb-sized. It wasn't that bad to me because I had been to Mexico twice. And in Mexico, the roaches are the size of your palm. They're fucking massive there. And there's so many of them that, like, you just have to accept it. You're just, like, at all times, if you're outside, you can probably see 5. Go to California Redwood Forest. So it'll be a fox battle then. You know, Riddle, I actually lived there for a year. I lived in the town of Twainhart for a year. And I can't imagine them having good internet. I can't imagine them getting, like, regular Amazon deliveries easily. Squirrels can't afford to rent the trees. May not be the best idea. Oof. Yeah, no, I lived in the Redwood Forest for a bit. I lived in Twainhart. That was where I was from ages 5 to 6. It was okay. I remember our house. I remember our backyard. I remember my friend hitting me in the forehead with a Tonka truck and it giving me a scar. I remember one day, my parents told me to take the trash out. And I left out the front door and there was like 10 raccoons just like 10 feet away from the door staring at me. And I went back inside crying. I remember, making a kind of like a snow tunnel that I could crawl through. And it freaked my mom the fuck out when she learned about it. Quite specific. There was one winter where, like, there was a snowbank. And I just dug a tunnel in it. And I remember the first part of it, like, fell in. I was like, oh, you have to pack it. You have to make the snow hard so that it doesn't collapse in on itself. And just me and the other neighborhood kids, we made, like, a 10-foot long tunnel in the snow, that we could crawl through. And we were like, look, Mom, look, we made a tunnel. And she was immediately like, if this thing fell on a kid, we would not be able to hear them, and they would just die there. Oh my god, this is horrifying. You're not going in the tunnel unless an adult is watching. And we're like, you're being such a party pooper. Ugh. The irony of being scared of a raccoon. The children yearn for the minds. That does happen. Yeah, no, it was a fair concern of hers. Being 5 years old, I was like, oh, what are you whining about? Dylan is an outdoor guy. I am very much not an outdoors guy. When I was 5, I was. Because I didn't know about the good shit yet. Oh, you know what I remember when I was 5 years old? I remember hating Bill Clinton. Because I wanted to watch Power Rangers one day. And there was a special announcement, you know, a presidential address that interrupted the Power Rangers one day. And I was like, who is this guy? And my mom was like, oh, it's the President of the United States, Bill Clinton. Get him the fuck out of here! I got Power Rangers to watch! Well, this is important, honey. The nation needs to hear about what he's saying. He's the leader of the United States of America. He's not the leader of the Power Rangers! And they're saving the universe, damn it! Like, I was so upset that Power Rangers was canceled that day for a presidential address. Mom, let me die in the snow tunnel. Dylan doesn't like outdoors. He prefers his wood inside. The good shit, insert sex joke. Okay. Oh my god. And that day, it's what made Dylan hate politics. It's all kids, Dylan, that's all kids. Probably about his impeachment. Probably about his impeachment. It would have been 1996. About then. Can imagine Dylan doing this but on 9/11. I do remember 9/11. I remember, I'm getting ready for school. The news is on. My mom is just glued to the TV, and I'm like, whoa, what's happening? And she's like, a lot of people just died, Euland. This is really bad. This is really, really bad. And I was like, oh, is it so bad that school is canceled and I can stay home playing video games all day? And she looks at me and she goes, that would mean the terrorists win, Euland. You're going to school. And I was like, fuck. That was me when 9/11 happened. I was not old enough to comprehend the gravity of the situation. Old. Oh, the whole incident he had with Monica? Laying pipe like Mario. Base take, Euland. Hi, Farisu. Sag, Darius win. They did not win. I went to school. See, I did get to go home from school that day. She's so CT coded. I wasn't told about 9/11 until I got on Warcraft 3 that night. Always thinking about himself. I remember kids being pulled out of school. I was like, this is bullshit. I want to leave school. I found out via community map now. I remember that's how I learned about Steve Irwin. I remember, like, running around in Stormwind and somebody just in general chat, holy shit, Steve Irwin died. And I was like, what? No, not Steve Irwin. And then, like, two people be like, oh my god, it's real. And then Googling it myself and just being like, fuck, not him. Anybody but him. Shit. Hi, Octomage. Hi, Dark Princess Frisu. Hey, yo. Yeah, I think parents who worked in downtowns went and got their kids because they got sent home. I watched the towers fall live on TV during my military history class in high school. He got the raise. I really liked Steve Irwin when I was, I think like 6 to 7 years old. I remember when I lived in Colorado, which I moved there when I was 6. I left when I was 8. I fucking loved Crocodile Hunter. And unfortunately, my bedtime was 9, and his show came on at 9. So I would plead with my parents. And it basically became a thing of, if I was well behaved, I got to stay up an extra 30 minutes watching Crocodile Hunter. If I wasn't, or I did bad on a quiz or a test, or gave them some reason to like, nope, you've been bad today, I didn't get to watch Crocodile Hunter that night. Mine was a map that had some TD Map V 4.0 Platinum Edition. You loaded in, saw one of those Night Elf throwers fly into 2 towers. The message, Bush did 9/11. Got booted back into the main menu. Hang on. You saw that the day of 9/11? As in 4th grade, and the teacher was like, yes, day of, that. I didn't know this conspiracy theory was out that soon. As in 4th grade, and the teacher was like, so here's heard of the Twin Towers. Which is like the worst fucking way to do that to a bunch of kids. Oh, you know, a whole bunch of people saying he deserved to die because he was fucking with wildlife. Like, bro, that's not how it worked. Yeah, I remember seeing those people too. So my parents had to deal with me asking, why did Bush do 9/11, Lamau? Yes, day of Euland bad, never. I think I was a pretty good kid. I think I was elitist. I think I thought very highly of myself as a kid and thought I was better than others. I think I just constantly thought I was smarter than everyone else and looked down on them from a intelligence perspective and also just like a religious perspective. People joke that I'm an incel, or was. It was kind of true to some point, because I was absolutely the type of person to be like, oh, this girl is dating this person? It's such a shame. Women always date bad guys. I would have treated her right, but, well, she's gone and chosen, you know, the shitty option, I suppose. I very much had, like, that line of thinking with things. Even though, like, from an attraction point, I didn't put any effort into my looks, any effort into my fashion. any effort into like my hobbies and being desirable as a partner to people. So it was like, hi Shion. Genuinely like the nerdy kid with like just bad hygiene that was like, I'm such a steal. Women would love me if they gave me a chance. I remember we had one of those huge TV, and I looked at the TV when it was burning. Then I went to school, and they were just very quiet about it the whole day. My first experience with Dead was my school crush. The whole 3 days. Waiting for her to come back to school. Sadly, she didn't. That's depressing. Incel arc. The only thing that got kids out of school was Columbine. Remember one of the 3 people in my last period class? Chemistry? Wait, hold on. You remember one of the 3 people in the last period class? Remember what about them? More positive news. Did you hear Bindi is married? And her son is now hosting shows in Australia Zoo? He's also on TV and is literally a mini Steve? Hold on. Steve Irwin's son, I thought Bindi was the daughter. Am I remembering that wrong? Yes, I know that his kids are being fucking awesome. And I know his grandkid, well, he has a grandkid. I thought it was Steve's daughter that had a kid. Yes, that I'm better than you. So you stand in the mirror and see yourself. I remember Emery telling me that she was in middle school when 9/11 happened. And she was next to the elementary school Bush was at when the video clip happened. Oh. I'm a steal though, but ugly. Bindi is the daughter. Okay. Can't remember his son's name. I also can't right now. Robert? Did you ever see the guy that took a picture of him with his fist next to a stingray like, I'm about to show this thing that Steve still has shooters out here? And later posted that he made friends with the stingray. And he now knows it's what Steve would have wanted. I do remember that. And he never really did TV. Robert, I think. That's it. I know she's working at the zoo. I know she's like really big on the zoo and like helps out there. But I think Robert, the son, is like much more the entertainer and like doing the shows like his dad did. There was only 3 people in the class. Everyone else got their parents got them out of school that day. As an anniversary of the event. Okay. The smallest class I ever had was college with 7 people. But if you're saying like a class of 30 and 27 kids got taken out early. It was sad that Steve's wife never remarried or dated after his death. It really was her one and only. I don't know if that's sad. I don't know. I used to be of the opinion that like if you remarry, you didn't have true love. If you're the type of person that remarries, it's like, oh, you just anybody will do for you. You didn't like see them with true love. You didn't see them as a soulmate. It's like you, how do I word this? You break your binding oath to them. Yeah, that's gone away. I don't believe that at all now. That is a very like just some people don't work like that. For some people, it's, how do I word this? I don't want to say like they have a lot of love to give. They very much function better as human beings when they have a partner. And so for them, I don't believe in soulmates at all. I think any 2 people can make it work. But you know, like let's say a man and a woman, they're married for 20 years. One of them dies. If one of them remarries in like 2 years, I don't really see that as a problem. I don't see that as like, oh, they weren't really truly committed to that first one. It's just they function better as a human with someone there. I don't know. I'm wording this so poorly. I can like visualize it perfectly, but then trying to like speak it, I'm like, this is hard. Yeah, Robert does lots of TV. Do you think Steve would have tried to stop Egil to save the life of Bionis? Your Xenoblade jokes suck. I really want to go to Australia Zoo just to see them. It's really fucking strange because I feel like I've grown up with them, but I really haven't. That is a parasocial feeling. And it's fine to, like, have that. It's less fine to act on it. But that is literally, like, parasocial defined. Relationships or whatever people make of them. Yeah. So, like, I grew up thinking, you know, there is a right way to do this. And now it's like, wait a minute. Who the fuck cares about a right way? Who the fuck cares about being told to do it a certain way? The only people that matter are the two in that relationship. Now, obviously, there are exceptions. You know, there's some fucking age gaps that I'm not cool with. Specifically, you know, minors. But, like, let's say a woman is 20 and a guy is 50. I might look at that as kind of weird. But if both of them are happy, who the fuck am I to say, like, that's weird, you two, that's wrong? If being committed to one person from life to death is what fulfills someone, then they can do that too. But, like, there's a lot of people, Micaiah, that will be like, you should be committed to them until their death and your death. You know, there's a lot of... I saw a story recently on Reddit of a guy who... he was married to his wife for, like, 20 years. She died. And then he remarried. And his kids kind of distanced themselves from him. And he started, like, he, like, basically, you know, after 5 years of just his kids seeing him less and less, he's like, hey, you two, what the fuck's going on? Kind of seems like you two just don't want anything to do with me. And they're like, it just feels like you don't love Mom. It just feels like you, as soon as she died, you threw her away and you were done with her and just, you replaced her with the next model. And he's like, what the fuck? How dare you? I mean, yeah, if that's what they want, sure. Dating a 47-year-old at 18 was definitely one of the things of all time of my life. That's some old-ass way of thinking. I mean, how could you ever do better than Steve? He was the GOAT. How some people are. My grandfather hasn't remained or dated for 15 years after my grandmother passed. He's also fucking grown, so I'm not surprised. Chem teacher was cool, though. He said we could just mess around with the chemicals, do our own experiments that day. I will never remarry. Air is my one and only plushie. Has nothing to do with marriage. One of them died, and one of them remarries. I sure hope it's not the dead one remarrying. Time to make some mustard gas outside of a hood. Oh, God. My mom and dad were like 30, 20-something year married with each other. I just wanted to be like them, but I'm 36 and still nobody. Blah. We're talking chemistry? People want to grieve the rest of their lives after their partner dies, that's their decision. But moving on is also fine. Whatever people make of it. Yeah, but like, there's people that will like, they think there's a right way. They think you're supposed to grieve the rest of your life. And it's like, this fucking stinks. What did I see? I saw someone in the comments of that one story I brought up who, they divorced. And then they, you know, it was them and their 2 kids, right? Single mom raising 2 kids. And then, when the 2 kids were like 16 or 18, the mom was like, okay, they're old enough. I'm gonna start dating. And the mom, like, started dating, and one of the kids, the older daughter, I think, had a real problem with this. And she's like, I don't know why you're bringing a guy into this. Our lives are fine with just the 3 of us. And the mom asked the daughter, okay, so are you not going to date people? Is it fine with just the 3 of us? And, you know, you're gonna turn 18, you're not gonna move out, you're gonna go get a job, stay living with me, and, like, live with me for the next 30, 40 years, but you yourself are never gonna go, have a relationship because it's fine with just the 3 of us? You're committed to, you know, just being my daughter and nothing more? And the daughter was like, no. And she's like, so you want me to not change and be at the ready for your just the 3 of us in comfort, but the moment you want to change that, it's cool for you. Okay. Okay, cool. And, like, in this story at least, the daughter kind of got that and understood, is like, oh, that is a bit hypocritical. That would suck for me to just never go into a relationship. It's not really just the three of us. My mom wants to, you know, progress her life in that regard as well. There's nothing wrong with creaking open a cold one. No! This is bad. If you reach 70 and are still alone, I will marry you. I'm Micaiah, cracking open a cold one with the boys. I mean, when has pushing ideals onto other people ever been correct? Fucking never. It's hard to speak of me in the future, but right now I think I'd grieve for the rest of my life, and then just get like 10 dogs! My long-term plan is to die before my partner, though. I'm just waiting till the day I can't even cook for myself and letting the woods take me. God, this is really bad. And extremely hypocritical of me. I kind of see myself as undateable. Because I feel like I don't provide much in a relationship. I feel like, you know, I could be a fine friend. I could be like a, you know, friend with benefits, sure. But like, marriage, literally committing to life with another person, I look at it as a very practical thing, right? Two people getting married to like pay less taxes. To like, hey, a house is difficult to afford for both of us, but the two of us together, we could do it. Right? Both of us want kids, but paying the bills and having kids as one person is hard. Would be like a lot more doable with two people. To me, marriage and like a life together is very a practical thing. So in that regards, it's like I look at myself as just undateable because it's like I'm not helping much with finances. I can't cook for you. I can cook for myself, but it'd take a lot of effort for me to get to cook for you. I could clean a place, like I could clean a house, but I feel like being with somebody is them doing a lot of heavy lifting with the like practical things, with finances, with just things like that. Now, that's a lot of me like imposing my ideals on people. There could be somebody that's just like, those things don't matter to me. You just make me happy. And that would be like, that would be a hurdle for me to overcome mentally, but I probably could. It is very much like me imposing my thoughts on other people. Whoa now. Why be a date when you can be a pet? My plan for years was not to see 40, so... The woods, hello, park ranger. Yeah, if your reasons to get married are finances, you probably shouldn't get married. Yes and no. Like, so... Without it being finances, without it being practical reasons, I'm almost like, what's the benefit over marriage? Instead of just being like, companions, friends with benefits, right? Like, there's reasons for marriage, but a lot of the reasons is just like, why though? Like, why tie your finances together? There's a lot of people that I know that like, you'd almost wonder like, why the fuck aren't you two married? And they're just like, why? We don't love each other less because we don't love each other less because we're not married. We've just lived together for 10 years and we practically are. In fact, legally, I think in a lot of places they would be considered married. What do you mean, Ewan? I see you're a good mom for the kids. You have tons of wisdoms. I don't really want kids. Is that ketchup potatoes I smell cooking? Day 30 of ketchup potatoes in a row. You're like the trophy wife. Without being a trophy or being a wife. That's not always a good thing. Depends on the wage gap between the two and stuff like that. So you don't want kids? Fuck no, I don't want kids. Hi, Jan. Not gay if two bros want to get married for cheaper taxes. Risk of marriage is some people completely change the moment they get married too. You know, some peeps that don't get married just because they're worried they are going to change. I don't know if I'd be worried about me changing. I'm kind of like, no matter what I do, I pretty much act the same. I will have different moods that affect, like, how ready I am to socialize with people. But, like, when I'm going through the hardest times of my life, I'm pretty much acting the same to people. And when I'm, like, the happiest in my life, I might be a little more ready to socialize and bubbly, but I don't think I change much. And so I just, no matter what I'm going through, I kind of stay the same. Also, we're at 2.7 miles. You're not that difficult to deal with, Ewan. Don't be hard on yourself. I'm not saying I'm difficult to deal with. In fact, I think I'm very easy to deal with. I just think I don't provide much to others. I'm very self-sufficient and you don't need to take care of me. But, like, I'm not doing much to take care of you. I'd be worried of getting with the wrong person. You don't love me at my streak breaking? You don't deserve me at my new treadmill? Okay. Did anyone see Maze Runner? I somehow ended up playing a Maze Runner Minecraft map earlier. That shit was hardcore. Yeah, let us be hard on you instead. Thought I was better at mazes. I'm good at making mazes. I have a lot of experience making mazes, Octomage. But, running a maze? I mean, I'm just putting my right hand on the wall and only turning right and following the wall. When it comes to actually remembering the layout, I'm pretty dog shit. And Maze Runner, the maze moves. Right hand motherfuckers, when I put an island. See, that is one of the tricks to counter somebody doing that. Leon, I used to play Rift a lot. And in my guild, they did weekly guild events. And so they'd be like scavenger hunts. They'd be like I guess like a tag race, a dueling tournament, just stuff that they could easily do, like a player-made hosted event, right, for the guild. There's a guild of like 50 people, 30 people would show up to these events. I told them I could make a maze in the housing system in Rift. And so I made a maze with like 3 levels. Hi, Saris. And, I make this maze, and everybody loves it, and they start being like, okay, that maze was so good, we're gonna give you Rex Exchange to make a new maze every week. You know, we will fund the maze so that you can do cool shit in that. And I was like, fuck yeah. And so I made a modular maze that, like, was very easy to change week to week. So there would be, like, happy 8 of 8. There would be, like, the first level was, imagine, so there's, like, a big open passageway into the maze. It had a gate, and then it split into 6 different it split into 3 paths, and then each of those split into 2 different paths. And all those paths went to the same hole, where I could just move a door week to week. So, like, 5 of the paths would go into a dead end, but it was like a fence. You could see that the other paths led there as well. And then one would be open. And then next week, I was like, okay, instead of the second path being correct, this week it's going to be the 5th one. So I'd take the door over the 5th path and move it to the 2nd path exit. And so I could, like, just change the maze every week without rebuilding the whole thing. And that was just the first level. The 3rd level, I made a maze that you dropped into the middle of, and then I tried to make it as, like, twisting and winding as possible. And there was a lot of, like, openings and exits so that, like, It was very easy to lose your place and get lost. But I would have a friend test it, and he would solve it in like 2 minutes. Like, he would just solve it like really fast every time. I was like, dude, what the fuck? How are you solving this so fast? He's like, mazes are easy. You just put your right hand on a wall and only turn right. And you know, I drew this out and I was like, fuck, he's right. If you just only turn the same direction each time, eventually you're gonna solve it. How do you stop this? And then I realized, if you do that, you just go around the edge. You miss a lot of stuff in the middle. And so what you do is create islands. You create sections that don't connect to the outside edge. And so with this maze, I basically drew a big line through the middle. It was kind of zigzag, so it wasn't like you could see wall to wall. But I cut it into 4 quadrants. And from there, I would make it so that I could change which quadrant was the correct one to exit each week. But basically, there would be a trapdoor in the middle of each quadrant. And you know, week 1, it's the top right one. The next week, it's the bottom left quadrant. But if you only turned right, you would just go around the outer edge and never see any of the quadrants. If you only turned left, you would just do a circle around one of the quadrants and never solve it. And so I had him test this, and after 20 minutes he messaged me like, how the fuck do I get out of here? Did you even put an exit? And I was like, oh, there's an exit, alright. Mission accomplished. You've been an excellent guinea pig. And he's like, show me right now, I don't believe you. And I just walked him right to it, and he's like, what the fuck? Now, it meant that the maze could be solved really quick. If you knew the right way, or stumbled upon the right way, you could solve this level in like 20 seconds. But that never fucking happened. And overall, the maze had like 6 floors. We gotta go back. What? There we go. Oh. Right hand motherfuckers when I put it on. Like every night the doors close to the maze. You gotta run back, and the first night I went deep into the maze, I got lost. Didn't make it back in time. My first griever I came across just wrecked me. My Sarah's happy 8 of 8. Whoa, cool amount, that's amazing. Haha. Absolutely rused. Mommy Sarah's high. Should have never stick with your One Direction, lol. Chat, do you look at this? And you say he's not a good partner or wife? Hold on, Riddle. I designed a maze in a video game. That does not make me a good wife. What? Hi Jan, hi Riddle, hi cutie. I mean, I guess if there was some guy who's like, all of my needs are met by mazes, I need to marry somebody that makes a killer maze and they'll be perfect for me. That's insane. Hi cutie. You know what that is? Just look at Blue Sky Twitter. Make that partner a maze. Partners love mazes. Okay, if it's blue. Neil needs to marry a Dark Lord. I don't want to marry a Dark Lord, huh? Maze is perfect for them? Marry a Mythic Plus main. No, he has a point because they but confuse you. Hi, Archangel. Both? Oh, they both confuse you? A Demon Lord, perhaps? Where are these coming from? I don't think you guys have a good criteria for what makes a good partner. Dark Lords always need mazes. That's a skill that needs to be passed down. No, it's not! And that works too. Oh. Have I shown you my spaceship, Ewan? You have not. The mazes I made. Okay, so in Rift, I made mazes in Rift and Wildstar. In Rift, the first level was the 3-path. Each of those split into 2 paths. So 6 total. And 2 of the paths would be right each week, because this is level 1. I didn't want to make it take too long, right? Level 2, I think was a weird forking path thing. So it was kind of more of an obstacle course than a maze and rift. But basically, you'd fall into level 2, and there would be 3 doors. 1 was correct. After that, there would be 4 doors. 1 is correct. After that, there's 5 doors. 1 is correct. And then 6, and then 7, and 8, and then 9. The last one, there's 9 doors. It was really like a structure that there's 3 doors on the bottom. There's a floor, not a floor, but like a balcony with 3 doors above that. And a walkway on the right that goes up to that level. And then a floor with 3 doors above that with a walkway on the left that goes higher up to that. And one of the doors was correct. Then it would drop down to level 3, and this was the islands. Hi, Icy Fire. The islands was, you know, if you follow the right wall, you'll never find the exit. If you found that, it dropped to level 4. What was level 4? I think level 4 was kind of the same thing as level 2. Hi, Soda! Level 4 was the same as level 2, but it was bridges. And so if you took the wrong one, instead of just like, oh, I'm hitting an invisible wall, just go back, you would fall down into like a trench and have to go back to the beginning. So there was 3 bridges and 2 were correct. One of them you'd fall through, and they all looked identical. Then there's 4, 2 are correct, then 5, 2 are correct, 6, 2 are correct, and 7, 2 are correct. But like you would get to that 7th area, the 7th bridge, I guess the 5th pair of bridges, that was bridges of 7. And you'd fall through, you'd have to walk through this trench under all the bridges, back to the first set of 3. So you had to memorize the path. And then level 5, I think this was the final level. And this one was fucked up. This one was a standard maze. It was actually really close to level 1. However, I made the pathways really long. I made it so that each dead end was a really long hallway. At the end of every single long hallway was a skull and bones. It was very big, it was on the wall. You would see it and go, oh, this is a dead end. But you couldn't trust it. Because one of them, and there were like 5 of these dead ends of the skull and crossbones at the end. One of them actually had like a little opening that you could go into, like just go into. So if you went all the way up to the skull, you could see there was a very thin doorway on the left. And be, oh, we go this way. And that was the right way to go. But if you just look down the hallway, it'd be like, oh, this is a dead end because I see the skull there. No reason to go down this hallway. Remind me, can we talk about our friends that also stream? I'd prefer you not to. You can mention them. You can say like, I have a friend that does this, but I don't want like, hey, my friend at twitch.tv/da-da-da-da-da. What makes a good partner? Laughs at my jokes, cuddles me, knows how to hide a body, butt stuff. Monty Hall ass maze. Jesus Christ, internet suck in the cantina. Yuli, hi, Icy Fire. How many people have gotten mad at you for your mazes? I can think of a few. It was never genuine anger. It was never like, I'm blocking you, you fucking suck. But a few people were like, oh my god, I can't believe this. Leon, hi, Icy, Soda Pop Soda, hi, hi. My memory is so bad, this maze would kill me. Yeah, I have a streamer friend. He does this walking thing. No, Yulin, your friends, not mine. You can talk about my friends. I don't mind that. Holidays. Well, we have Icy Fire here. The bot is alive again today. Global Sleep Under the Stars Day. International Cat Day. International Day of the Female Orgasm. Okay. National CBD Day. National Dollar Day. National Frozen Custard Day. National Mochi Day. National Spam Musubi Day. National Whataburger Day. National Zucchini Day. A lot of food there. I like Mochi Day. That's gonna be my favorite holiday for today. That's the problem. You want you to be designing the ARG maps, not playing them. Cat Day Pog, huh? And makes promises like, I have so much Xenoblade to talk about once we start walking, and then leaves me limp for 2 hours. Well, you guys wanted to talk about other things. International Cat Day, me for real. Also, yeah, I could not remember my path at all when I was in the maze. 4 day, it does, it's day. Day doesn't exist. Hi, Icy. Now, the female orgasm doesn't exist, day can't exist too. In WildStar, it was less of an event. It was less of an obstacle course. So this was like just maze. Level 1 of the maze was like level 3 of the Rift maze. It was the island segmented into, I think I cut it into 6 sections. And so if you just followed a wall, you would not find it. And I tried really hard to make it so that you couldn't tell it was islands. You could not tell it was cut it up into 6 parts. But it was very much like 6 distinct parts of the maze. But the passages between them were very zigzagged. So you would never know that it was cut into 6 sections. But you had to find, you know, the part that drops down. I think actually that was level 2. Level 1 was invisible walls. So level 1 was a 10 by 10 grid. Each unit, each cell of the grid was 5 by 5 feet, or like 10 by 10 feet or something. I think 10 by 10. And every single cell of this grid had a banner that would basically act as a door. So you couldn't see through this. However, to block people, you could walk through the banners. But if I wanted it to be a wall, I would put a piece of glass there that was obstructed by the banner hanging down. So you would go into the maze, and it was essentially the Lost Woods from Ocarina of Time. You'd have a right, a left, and a forward. And you'd go right, and you'd hit a wall. You couldn't go through it. It wouldn't, like, teleport you back or anything. But you'd go right, and you'd be like, okay, this is a wall. You go forward, and you walk through the banner. You try to go forward again, and you hit a wall. So you go left. And, like, that's really not that hard. In fact, you could just hold your hand on the right wall and only turn right and solve it eventually. But it's very disorientating. It's very much like, okay, we went forward 3 times, left twice, down twice, left once, up 7 times. Like, it was very much like a snaked path through a grid that had a lot of dead ends. And it was very much like you essentially had to be thinking in terms of I'm only turning right or only turning left. Because if you were trying to keep track of it mentally, it was very, very difficult. The 3rd level of the maze in WildStar. This one was just sadistic. It was a very simple maze. You know, rights and lefts, forks, dead ends. However, it was 3 of these stacked on top of each other. And there was ladders going up and down. So it was essentially a 3D maze in like a cube. Granted, it wasn't a cube. It was more of a boxoid shape. Where to go through it, you'd have to, you know, go forward, go right, go left, go left, go up, go left, go left, go up, go right, go forward, go down, go right, go down. It was very much like the correct path snaked through multiple floors, and there were multiple dead ends in that. So it was more than just like, put your hand on the right wall and just follow that. It was, you know, a 3rd dimension that made it much more difficult to just do that. What the board game calls? Snake and Ladders? No, this was a maze I made in WildStar, in the housing system. Tell that to Twitter. I could tell Twitter that I like cats and they would crucify me. Me knowing the truth about the female organism would not get a different result. I think this maze talk is showing why Yuli wouldn't be a good partner. He's a sadist. What the fuck? What the board game called? I did plan a maze for VR chat in 2019, maybe 2018. When I was first getting into VR chat, I wanted to make a maze in VR chat. I was planning to, you know, do a map. I got the initial level down, but like my my Unity skills. Actually, I don't even remember if I probably was using Blender. I have no idea what I was using. The texture work I was doing was so atrocious and bad. I literally only did the shape of the first level. I had planned like 9. I had planned like 9 different levels for the maze. And like the first 3 would have been, you know, walks in the park. They wouldn't have been that hard. 4 through 7, I think would have been a little challenging, but, you know, people could do them with enough time and effort. 8 and 9 would have genuinely been like mind benders that like would have taken some fucking bullshit to solve. The 9th level, what I wanted to do was have the exact same maze level basically duplicated 5 times down, and I wanted it to have like essentially an invisible portal that you walk through one specific doorway of the maze, and that teleports you to level 2. But you don't know that you've teleported to level 2. So you essentially would have had to run through the maze in the exact same way 5 times to get to the end, without ever knowing you were doing that. I don't know if this is a good maze idea, but it would have been very difficult to solve in my mind. A submissive sadist? Yeah, that's a brat. What the fuck? Eels and escalators. Okay. Some of the VR chat worlds are sadistic like that. This random shit you have to randomly find. Try for some messed up reason. So Octolmage, my friend Corvu, she fucking loves that shit. And half of the days on our Friday World Hop is just trying to solve puzzles like that. I don't particularly enjoy these puzzles. We didn't do them that much in the past, but the past year she has found more people that really enjoy these. And they spend more time with them. That's why I need to fucking play Uma Musume on Friday World Hops now. Because when we find a map like that where they're just looking for clues, they're just like turning every stone a touch. They're just like, what if we put this here and then like wait for this to happen? What if we put this here for 5 minutes? And I'm just like, oh my god, I hate this. I'm happy that they all have fun with it. But for me personally, it's like, But I did tell I did tell Cairo we were going to talk about Xenoblade. We went into Xenoblade yesterday. We had left off Tuesday with potentially the final boss of the series. Spoiler alert, he wasn't the final boss. But he certainly seemed like he would be. My strategy did not work for him at all. My strategy got fucking crushed. And so I had to try a bunch of different strategies. The one that got the furthest was me playing DPS Melia, but having stone buffs so that we have a lot of we have like 40% reduced physical damage taken across the party. The problem with the fight though, the problem that I just couldn't get past was he would summon these enemies called clocks. They're like these big robot beetles. And they have this move where they just spin. They just spin and do like 4,000 damage to everybody within like 20 meters of them, which is a massive fucking range. The boss also just has like a sword sweep where he just sweeps across the platform with his sword, and that does like 4k damage to everybody. Well, one of my characters only has 4k health. The tank has 8k. Granted, he takes less damage, but it is very much like, it's just so much AoE damage that, like, how the fuck do you keep everybody alive during this? It's almost like they want you to know what pushes the boss over to the next part of the fight that summons ads, but you don't really have a way to, like, hold DPS. Your auto attacks just go off, so you're always going to be doing damage. But it feels like they they built it around, okay, the boss does a sword sweep, you live, heal up, do enough damage that he summons the ads, and then you kill those before his next sword sweep. But, like, I don't know how the fuck you would time that. I don't know how you would, like, get those to alternate. My left hand is freaking the fuck out right now. We good? We good? Okay. I don't know how you would time that. It just seemed impossible. It seemed like that wasn't a thing you had control over. Also, the ads were RNG, right? Sometimes he would summon clocks, which is like, okay, we die. And sometimes he would summon sentries, which they're easy to deal with and not a problem. And it was just so much damage. Your body's starting to have PTSD from the boss. Cairo looked up like 5 different playthroughs, and in 4 of them, they used a different tank than me, which I don't really think is the problem. You'd be healing the other tank less, but, like, the tank I was using should have CC'd the ads more. I don't know. It's weird to me that would be the make or break. One of the groups they did was 2 DPS and a healer, and they just burst the fuck out of the ads as they came down. Which I had tried at some point, but it was definitely like, this just sucks. What ended up happening was I turned it to casual mode, which felt so bad. When you're not able to do a challenge in a game, and it's like, hey, is this too hard for you? Do you want to turn it to baby mode? It's like, ugh. No. No, I fucking don't. I'm pretty sure I just went back and overleveled as fuck with that boss. I don't know how you overlevel, though. They have such, like, tight scaling that it's hard to overlevel. Like, if you just go grind mobs that are on level with you, it takes hours to level up to, like, be slightly above. Because they cut off the experience that's like, oh, you're 3 levels ahead of these monsters now? No experience for you. And it's just like, grinding to the point of being ahead, it just feels like it doesn't happen in this game. Right? At most, I've ever been like 4 levels ahead of the stuff I'm killing. And so, like, grinding to get ahead and, like, be far, like, above is just like, what? How? Especially in this area. Because it's like, I'm level 69. The boss is 72. The mobs in the area are, like, 65. Granted, there's a few different mobs that are, like, special mobs that are, like, this one's 70. I think there might have been a few 75s in the area. But it's like, those 75s are special encounters that they themselves are practically difficult to deal with bosses on their own. It's like, this just seems so impossible. 69, nice. My Uma careers have been going so terrible for days now. I don't know what changed. I'm sending myself to the glue factory. The Jimmy Neutron meme. You can't just talk about Xenoblade for the 9th time in a row. Oh, yes, I fucking can. That fight is such a fuck. Kidding, obviously, I love hearing about your Xenoblade experience. Click, clock, spin my... Okay, Riddle. Your body is starting to have PTSD from the boss solo. Pretty sure I just went back and overleveled as fuck for that boss. Yeah, but getting the game to ask you to go to an easier difficulty is funny for viewers. Oh, it felt bad. It felt so bad, Hobbit. 69, nice. You should also play the other thing. But Yuli is stubborn in a way. Where he wants to beat it his way. That's just like... I hate that design. Like, I just hate that design. That feels so trash to me in a game that's like, hey, the tanks aren't created equal. Because I look at everything in World of Warcraft terms, right? I look at everything in like, I played World of Warcraft for 20 years. So when I get to a fight that's like, hey, for this fight, you have a Druid tank, that's bad. You should have a Death Knight tank. Death Knights are really good because they've got the Death Grip, they can slow everybody, and they can deal with magic damage. Druids don't have any of that, so like, your Druid is just bad, get rid of them. To me, that's like, I hate this. I genuinely hate this. To me, it's like such a class balance failure. And it's not quite the same, right? I'm comparing an MMO to a JRPG with MMO elements. It's not the same. But it feels the same to me. Feels like it wants to be the same. I also just, I don't think Duncan and Ryan was the problem. Like, that's just not what the problem was. Yuli should also play the other tank, but Yuli's stubborn. I mean, I think I was maining other tank. The combos are so fun. It feels terrible, but there's a reason why one of the best clips from SBF is their DMC3 playthrough. Well, there was another team comp I told you and you refused. Yeah, because I wouldn't have been able to pull it off. It's not like, oh, you put Shulk, Fiora, and Sharla together, so it just automatically works. I don't know how to play Shulk. Well, I know how to play Shulk. I don't know how to play Fiora. I don't know which one they were maining. I feel like we saw this guy who was playing Shulk or Fiora. I'm assuming he was playing Shulk. Playing this team comp up until this point and familiar with it, and I would have had to learn it. This feels like the type of thing that's like, it's not just, oh, do this and you win. It's like, you have to do this and do it well. The 2 DPS 1 healer feels like a Razor's Edge comp where you need to be playing well for it to work, and I don't think I was going to be able to pull that off without an hour of learning. I think your root problem was Melee in that fight, to be honest. I don't think it was Melia. Because I tried it with Shulk and also died. I literally replaced Melia and used Shulk, and it was like, shield this, now shield that, now shield this. Oh, you didn't have enough Monado to shield the next 2 attacks. So, you know, you took the sword swipe and the clock spin at the same time, you die. Like, there is something that needs to create a bit of a gap so you have time to heal between sword swings and clock spins. And I don't think there is one. I think it's literally just a fight of RNG. You either need to over-level it and over-stat it to the point where you can burst down clocks or have enough tankiness to survive multiple hits at once, or you need to be able to control a sword swing goes off and you have enough time between a clock spin going off. You also needed more damage than Ryan, which would have been Fiora or Duncan. I think Melia was doing pretty good damage. Again, at one point I had Shulk, which should be one of the top 2 DPS. And if Duncan does that much more damage than Ryan, I just think that's a failing of the game. Is Frisu still here? It's like, fuck Death Knight's OP shits. I mean, you can't have a fat chicken and it lay golden eggs with no extra ticks. Dunvan does more single target and Ryan does more AoE. How does Ryan do more AoE? He has like 1 AoE attack, huh? Yeah, you need Shulk plus 1 of those 2. I think that's a failing of the game. I think if it's genuinely that tight, that you specifically have to use the DPS tank, and you specifically have to use Fiora or Shulk, and you specifically have to use Sharla, I think that's just such a massive failing of the game. Ryan has attacks that raise aggro, but Dunman just does pure DPS to pull it. He does more single target, which you need a single target burst to take down the big ads before they could do their move. So how are you, if you single target burst the big ads, how are you keeping one of them off of a character that's doing AoE or healing? And also killing both of them before a spin goes off. Like, to me, what you're saying just doesn't make sense, because that would happen. Hi, Kyo. I think Rein is probably not good for the fight, and Duncan's probably better. I think Melia is probably not good for the fight, and as a DPS or healer, other characters are probably better. I think it's just genuinely a bad fight, and I don't think me switching team comps is enough to just fix it, because it's not just, oh, you're using the wrong piece for the wrong slot. It's more of an issue of, you need to have the right setup, be practiced at it, and have it set up. I had gems invested in Melia. And to get other characters to work, like to get Duncan to work, I would need to, like, go put gems into a setup. I don't think I could just equip Duncan with pink gear, slap him in, and it's just like, okay, the fight's easy, you win. I don't think it's that simple. Man, that's why I'm saying to just try the characters. Cairo, I tried like 6 different setups. Can't write out every ability and stat difference. Well, you can't write out every ability and stat difference. Well, what you can say is, this character does more damage. This character does more threat. This character doesn't take damage because he dodges. And it's like, all I hear is, oh, this game's trash then. Gale Slash, Electric Gutbuster, Steel Strike, Break, Topple, and then wail on them. This is the way. No, I mean, try Dunban. But I just don't want to. I don't want to, and the game is unbeatable unless you play Dunban, is shit to me. Hug, love. We put it to casual mode for the boss. I will take that boss as stupid and trash till the day I die. We then saw a fucking hour of cutscenes that was like, here's this twist. Oh, you thought things were bad? Well, here's this twist. Oh, you thought things couldn't get any worse? Well, here's this twist. And the story was just like, damn. Damn, at what point does it, like, start getting good? At what point do they get good news? Because it was just like, the end of the world, also, fuck yo couch, also, eat shit and die. It was just like, oh my god. The twist for minute is off the charts. It was genuinely like an hour of just, damn, everything's bad. Oh, look, we're getting reinforcements. Snaps fingers. The reinforcements are now enemy reinforcements, and we're in double trouble. Oh god. It was like, it was just, it was comical. How bad, not the story, I'm not saying the story was bad, but how bad events were going for the characters. It literally was like, I think in reality, if these were real people and not, you know, fictional anime characters, at least one of them would have just gone, we're just fucking done. This is it, this is the end, and just jump off the edge, and that's it, they're done trying. It was so like, oh man, this is horrible. A big saving grace for me yesterday, despite all the frustrations I was dealing with, was that I was having a lot of fun with DPS Melia. So Melia is, apparently she's low DPS, which is crazy to me. Because she's like a lot of people's favorite character. And I'm like, okay, she's really hard to play as a healer and nobody does. But also she's bad to play as a DPS because she's a low DPS. Why the fuck do people like this character? I guess she's just so fun they put up with it. I was building her in a way. I got 3 gems for her weapon. And all of her gems increase her blaze damage by 35%. Waifu. And she has a move on a 24-second cooldown that lights the enemy on fire for like 22 seconds. And so what you do is she summons a spirit, and that gives her a buff so long as she keeps it near her. And then she can discharge the spirit to do the thing. So you summon lightning. This buffs her ether damage by 40%. You summon copy, which summons another lightning. So now she's getting ether damage up 40%. And then you summon fire, discharge it, and you put the fire dot on AoE. It's an AoE dot, so it's around your target, and it just hits nearby targets as well. You put that dot on them for 22 seconds. And it just does so much fucking damage. It depends on enemy resistances. When they were heavily resistant, it was ticking for 700, which is still like a shit ton for an essentially 95% uptime dot. On enemies that were weak to fire, it was ticking for 3,000, just 3,000 every second, which is like, holy fucking moly. That was fucking fun. And that's not even her only dot. She also has the Earth Spirit, which when you discharge that, it's a 64-second cooldown, but when you discharge it, it puts a dot on them for 30 seconds, which that one ticks like really fucking hard. I haven't invested any like poison damage into Melia. I could take the poison gems from Riki and try going full poison with her, but the problem with poison is that one is not AoE. And it is very hard to like maintain your poison. The poison lasts 30 seconds. The cooldown on Earth Spirits is 64 seconds. You could get that close to 100% uptime, but you're not doing much else. You'd be like, summon lightning, wait 15 seconds, summon lightning again. No, you could copy lightning. So you'd summon lightning, copy lightning, summon earth, discharge. And then, you could just not do any spirits, not do summon copy, or you would summon copy to then do earth right away. And you'd basically not touch your spirits at all. You're just auto attacking. And then the moment your poison runs out, you would discharge earth again. And then you would just like, I don't know, summon something else like lightning. I guess you'd probably want to summon fire. Because you're just doing a lot of auto attacks at this point. I don't know if Xenoblade has snapshotting. If like summoning lightning will increase your dot damage currently on, or if it's like you have to summon lightning, do the spell, and then anything you do with lightning affects the dot damage. I could test that easily. If it does affect the dot that's already on, you would just summon another lightning so that you're sitting at 60% ether damage. And your poison just ticks. You would wait for earth to come back. So your earth would have been on cooldown for 30 seconds. Then you did your copy and discharge. And you, when that second dot runs out, your earth should be coming up off cooldown somewhat soon. Summon earth, discharge, copy, sit on that for 30 seconds. Poison runs out, discharge, summon lightning. After 30 seconds, discharge, earth. And it would be like a minute-long rotation of like 5 spells. But, I mean, if you wanted to do all poison damage, you could. It'd be very single target. There's no AoE in that. But you could have a poison, like, 100% uptime, ticking for, like, 5,000, I think. I was like, what, spirits? Happy, happy. The only thing with Duncan is that you didn't want to use him because of the meme. Haha. I don't want to use him, guy with busted arm. Now you don't want to use him out of stubbornness. which is kind of bleh. I don't want to use him because I just don't want to use him. Like, yeah, it started as a meme, but now I don't want to use him on the principle of any character should be viable in any role. And if it's just like, oh, Ryan's a shit tank, use Duncan, I hate that. So I hate... It's less about like, oh, haha, Duncan for the meme. It's just, I fucking hate tanks are created unequal. Ryan is just a shit character. I really want to make Ryan work because I want any tank to work. I want any DPS to work. I want any healer to work. And I think that's fucking garbage that that's not the case. And it's feels like you're just not getting that because you keep bringing it up and looping back to this conversation of just use Duncan, the meme. And it's kind of frustrating, Cairo. Like with Vesperia, I want to try every character, see which one I liked. I did fall back on Yuri most of the time. I like playing Rita. But I'm totally fine playing Estelle too. Yuri real. Yoan was based. Yeah, that's stubbornness. Yeah, it is stubbornness. Like, absolutely. I want the game to be good. I want their classes to be balanced. I think that's bad when they're not. Like, I think it's absolutely trash when it's like, this tank is good, this one's bad. Both the DPS are good. This healer's good, this one's bad. To me, that's just not good game design. That's very, like, stupid. I hate that. I want the game to be better than that, but I guess it isn't. I guess Duncan's just better in every way. No, he's not. He's good at topples. Clearly. Xenoblade ended on a comically tragic note last night. We got to an area that that's like a giant with innards, so we're like crawling around the organs of, well, the Bionis. We get to a room that has a giant heart. Like, imagine just a castle-sized heart just beating. And maybe some of you will remember this. I get nauseous when I hear heartbeats. So we're sitting there like, oh god, this is gonna make me sick. Quick, turn down the settings. So we go into the options. We turn down the sound effects. And like, even if you turn off everything, even if you completely mute the game, it is still playing a heartbeat. And it's like, this fucking sucks. Because it's genuinely making me nauseous. It's very low. It wasn't really thumpy. So it wasn't like, 5 seconds and I'm puking. But it was like, wah. Thank you, Global. It was definitely just like getting me closer and closer to just nausea. And after like an hour of being in this zone, it was like, I need to end. My stomach fucking hurts. In this zone, not only was I dealing with the heartbeat thing, but the enemies were over-leveled compared to me. Like, I'm 70, and they're all 75, and it's just like, oh my god, this is difficult to deal with. When was I supposed to do side quests to level up for this? Also, they're just like... They're just giving me, like, very, very difficult situations, which I get. It's a video game. You're at the end. They're giving you difficult situations that are intentionally difficult to deal with. There's a small bridge I need to run across. So they're giving me enemies that have a knockback that can knock me off the bridge. Okay, Cairo, I legitimately want you to be done talking about Duncan. I am trying to move on from it because I'm getting frustrated talking about it. Oh, Minecraft video. This zone was dealing with difficult mobs that were overleveled for me. I have the heartbeat making me nauseous. I also just have some jank of, like, these flying mobs pushing me around. And it's like... there's so much things that's just going wrong. I was having fun because I was playing DPS Melia. But this last zone that we're in is just a fucking doozy. And I got to a point where I was like, I'm gonna throw up. I'm gonna be done here. After an hour of Heartbeat, I'm gonna be done. The mobs pushing around was gold, though. At that point, it was like... It was so comical about how many things were going wrong for me. It was like, I don't mind. This is fine. This is just like, it can't get any worse. Oh, look, it can get worse. That's so funny. Like, it was just whatever. Balance classes, remember the guy has played WoW for 20 years. I worked at Blizzard for 7 years. And so I know a thing or two about balance, guys. I'm actually a second generation Blizzard member. Oh, God. It's less this tank is good, that tank is bad. You know, feels like it wants you to change it up for certain fights. I said I want to move from this topic, but I'm like, I have to get the last word in. There's no situation where you would use Ryan instead of Duncan. Like, there's none. It's just, oh, this is a Duncan fight. But all of them are Duncan fights. Hi, the gurgling sound of the tortoise being digested. The sound, oh, I need to up the treadmill. Of the tortoise being digested. The sound of hydrogen sulfide coming out of the solution. The sound of smooth muscles contracting in response to capsaicin. The sound of a low groan of discomfort, Kerbo, Rager Wizard. I be thumping something? Okay. That's one wild post. Hi, Noodles. Fun fact, actually. Oh my god, I actually remembered my thing. It's raining. Dunban plus Ryan also fucks really well? Why? Morning nudes. Is that just a good, topple combo, or like... What makes that combo work well? Because it's not damage. We're at 4.8. 4.8 miles. Noodle. I don't know why Noodles coming in reminded me of Monster Hunter. Good morning, Noodles, by the way. I played just a little bit of Monster Hunter yesterday. Crazy high damage mitigation and constant topples, yeah. I played just a little bit of Monster Hunter. And I did my bounties. It was 3 cliff quests, 1 event, a tempered 5-star Gypsyros. I'm forgetting the 4th quest. Hi, Kodiak. And I learned yesterday that there is no event quest in the cliffs. That's just not a thing. You've got like multiple event quests in the basin, in the plains, in Wyveria, but there's not one in the cliffs, which I was like, wait, really? My frustration, I guess, stems from you missing out on fun team comps. I'm sorry that I keep pushing it. I also just don't like seeing you get as frustrated as you do. Like, I get upset when you're upset. The problem, Cairo, is that it's a principle thing. I obviously don't have a problem with Duncan. Duncan is a fine character, he's fun, and a lot of people really, really like him because he has a fun playstyle, right? But to me, he's like too good of a character. And I want to make the not as good characters work. When a character is like, why would you ever play this one when this one's better? I almost want to take that lesser character and make them work. I want to put them in a situation where, hey guys, look, you can use this thing, right? I did that in WildStar. In WildStar, everybody that played DPS Stalker used Backstab. You put 3 moves on your bar. Your filler claw move, backstab, and then critical slice. And all other 7 moves were just bad. It was like don't use these, because why the fuck would you? Just use backstab, it's better in every situation. And I hated that. And I went and found a build that used clones and concussive kicks, and I was competitive with that. I didn't even have backstab on my bar, but I was a really good stalker, out DPSing a lot of these backstab stalkers. And that was like one of the best feelings for me. And so like, when I see Duncan is better in every situation, well, okay, what I'll see is, they're situational. Rein is good here, Duncan is good here. Okay, what situation is Rein in? There's never a situation. Duncan is almost always better, he's just objectively better. And it's like, okay, that makes me want to use Rein. Is he good with Happy? No, not really, because Sword Drive falls the fuck off and hits for 5,000. Is he better damage? No. Is he better AoE? I don't know Duncan enough to know how single target focused he is, but Rein's AoE is just Wild Arms or Wild Swing, which has a 40-second cooldown. So I'm very hard pressed to believe he's better AoE. He requires more healing because he's a block tank instead of a dodge tank. He apparently does way less damage. He's great at, like, topple and daze, but so is Duncan, I guess. And it's just like, it's just upsetting to me how how inferior he is as a character. Rein just gets hit so hard right now. He doesn't even get hit hard. It's his healing wasn't the issue on the Egil fight. It was the AoE. Also, Rein can eat spikes and Dunban can't. His healing on Egil was not the problem, because it was the AoEs. Melia and Charla were dying. Dunban turns to dust if he touches spikes. I'm not trying to argue this point right now. It's frustrating to me that I want to make Rein work, and it feels like Duncan is just better. And so it's like on principle, I want to like the unloved character. I want to play the character that nobody plays, that nobody likes, that should be in the same role, but just everybody's favorite is in that role. I have very little interest in playing Duncan in that regard. And it's like, you constantly just push it. You constantly just tell me to use this guy, and it's like, I don't know how to make it more clear to you that is genuinely annoying to me when you tell me to play Duncan. Like, I'm mildly upset by Rein not working and Duncan being the solution. I am far more upset by you just going, just play Duncan, just play Duncan, just play Duncan. And it's a little crazy to me, Cairo, that that's your solution when trying to cheer me up when I'm upset. I like his donuts. Better since you're underleveled. Rein just gets hit so hard. Yuli, what's up, Noodles? 40-second cooldown? That's crazy for a JRPG? Dude, it's... The cooldowns get lower as you level abilities, but Rein's AoE is a 40-second cooldown. His main threat is just, oh, people have fallen off of me, I'm going to taunt them. My hair is just fucking under my eye and it's driving me crazy. Oh, people love all the characters, but they're not playing Rein. Every party's running Duncan. I played Warframe 10 years ago for 60 minutes. Yeah, I was there, Noodles. I think I was actually playing Monster Hunter when you were talking about Warframe. Violet built that windmill. Violet built that thing. Of it just being open, not even playing. Oh. They have reworked the new player experience Noodles like 4 times. I think if you made a new account now or got on your old account, they'd ask you which new player experience you want, If you see the words Duviri, click the other one. Do not do the Duviri, paradox. For the love of God, do not do Duviri. I've gotten a few people into Warframe Noodles. Because I love the game. It's genuinely a good game. It is, what I always do is I don't let people buy things for new players. Because that's what will happen. There's a lot of people in Warframe that have, like, they have grinded up free-to-play, like $10,000 worth of the currency, and they could just buy anything in the store and give it to people. And so, you know, a new player will start and they'll be like, here's the Warframes, here's this weapon. And it's like, no, let them earn it. Please let them earn it. I will typically let them buy one Warframe. Right? I will let a new player get one Warframe for free. And it's like, hey, look at the list and pick one. Oh, this poison one is cool. Okay. We can get them Saren. But no other ones. Don't go buying stuff for that. And I'll let them buy cosmetics. So when I got Core into Warframe, I think we bought her Zephyr, which was the air Warframe. They're very, like, wind focused. And hi, Molly. After that, I was like, no Warframes. No one buy Warframes for Core. And so they were like, well, can we buy cosmetics? I was like, you can buy all the cosmetics. And so they fucking showered her in, what are the words? What are the things I'm thinking of? Roombas. They bought her like 100 Roombas, which are not cheap. It's actually like, she has like $500 worth of Roombas on her account. And so, she has this very enviable position of she loads into her orbiter 100 Roombas that she's stuck to the ceiling just immediately fall and then like spread out along the floor. And people are just like, what the fuck? How do you have so many Roombas? The story is weird noodles. The new player experience is actually really good. The new player experience for Warframe is like legitimately a fun experience. And then it tapers off for 10 hours, I'd say. The problem with Warframe, what the fuck is a Roomba doing on a spaceship? It's like the perfect place for a Roomba. It's gotta clean the floor. That takes up less space than a vacuum. The way Warframe operates is they will make like the game mode. They will make the grind. And then after 2 years, they kind of want to change it up. After 2 years, it's like, okay, people are going to get tired of this. They need something new. So they will let the game typically be about the same, you know, new missions, new tile sets, but then really change it up every 2 years. And the first, like, I'd say 4 to 6 years of the game was very open-ended, not much story. Literally just the star chart and planets. And so, you go through... How is it like Asthma Room? That doesn't make any sense, Riddle. You go through the new player experience. It's like 1 hour of decent story. It's pretty good. And then it's just the star chart for 10 hours. Which is like no story, no exposition. It's kind of just like, oh, is this a game? And it's very easy to get bored there. But basically what you're doing is you go through the planets. You start on Earth, then you unlock Venus. You go through Venus, you unlock Mars. You go through Mars, you unlock, I'm forgetting what's after Mars, maybe like Europa, I forget. Once you go around the galaxy twice, you will then unlock kind of like new modes and new grinds that they come out with like every 2 years. At some point you will get the Plains of Eidolon, which actually I think you can go to very early. At some point you will get Fortuna. At some point you will get Deimos. At some point you will get Void Fishers, the Zariman, Duviri. But it's a weird roller coaster of like 1 hour, really good. 10 hours, you're having fun if you're playing with friends, but it can get very boring at this point. And then like the end game grind kind of clicks and you see like, oh, there's all these different things that I can do whenever I want. Warframe is a lot like retail WoW. There's too much of everything. But WoW has a goal of max level. See, I would say the other way, Gana. Warframe is like RuneScape, where it's like, you have all these grinds, you have all these skills to level, and any progression in them matters. So it's like, you want to do your Plains of Eidolon grind, you want to do your Syndicate grind, you want to do your Zariman grind, and once you do them, they're done. Like, that's that. Whereas in World of Warcraft, there's always like, the one thing that's current, and everything before that is useless. So if you don't play for 3 years on WoW, there's no difference between that character and starting a new character. That is essentially just not a dead character, but like it brings no value to the current game on that character. Whereas in Warframe, if you played for 5 years straight and you were max level, then you didn't play for 5 years, you're like more caught up than a new account. You have a lot of stuff that a new account wouldn't have. Add a friend, give a bunch of free stuff. There's all weapon and Warframe slots. Weapon and Warframe slots are actually really cool to give a new player. Still waiting for 2,000 plat gift. I want Zaku. Zaku's a good one. What the fuck is a Roomba doing on a spaceship? What? You getting space dust on your spaceship? Yeah, you're constantly going in and out. You're constantly landing on planets, doing a mission, and then getting back on your spaceship. Skin hair sheds. Or orders the Azeroom. In space, it's extra vacuum power. The Roomba are like the cockroach? No, I think the Roombas clean up the cockroaches, Riddle. Some look like it. After Mars is Uranus. I don't think it's Uranus after Mars. I didn't feel like there was any end goal to Warframe. Because you were stuck in that 10-hour point where there wasn't. You were a robot. It's because it's fashion, Gana. I could show you the chart, Gana. I could show you the chart that's like, here's the list of goals. Once you do this, start working on this. Once you do this, start working on this. Warframe is an extremely goal-oriented game. It is very much like you have a list of like 50 grinds that you want to do and you chip away at all of them. Possibly. I do have 300 hours in the game. When was the last time you played? When was it that you were working towards something? But I guess the difference is you need to find the goals. Before 2017, there was fucking nothing. It was literally just collect the things in the game, collect the weapons, and that's that. In 2016, 2017, I forget which one, they added masteries, which was a massive grind and a big power spike to level up. After that, they added operators. After that, they added necromechs. After that, they added... Oh, I'm forgetting all the stuff they added. Incarnates. They've added Archon shards. I want to have some people to play Railjack. Oh, WoW is better eye level and reps and stuff. WoW is essentially all item level. Like, there's cosmetic stuff you can grind, but it is just increased item level. I think I talked about the time operators become a thing. That makes sense. There's been a lot added to the game since then that is much more goal-oriented. Whereas in the beginning years of the game, there really wasn't much. There really wasn't, like... It was literally just collect weapons to increase mastery rank. I need to farm Leaf for the spider frame. I played last year and trying to get the surfboard was so confusing. Yeah, I bet. I bet. Oh, I need to click a thing. Oh, it's right at 12. I need my channel points. I have no idea how you were meant to figure that out without a guide. K-Drive. I think I spent like maybe 10 hours trying to get the surfboard and just gave up. It's probably something that most people don't struggle with, but you just thought in a different way that made you struggle with it. Whereas most people are like, what? I didn't struggle with this at all. I've done that with a lot of things. So like, my example, Gana. Tears of the Kingdom. In Tears of the Kingdom, you do the tutorial island, you drop down to the mainland, you land in the lake, and they go, hey, there's a castle town right here. You should go there. You don't have to, though. So what I did was, I want the Gerudo outfit. I ran straight to the desert. Fuck this castle town. I don't care about that shit. I care about looking like a femboy. So I spent the first, like, 15 hours of Tears of the Kingdom with no glider. Like, it was genuinely just hard to fucking get around in this game. Because they didn't have a glider. What they wanted me to do was land in the water, go to Castletown, learn about the camera, learn about the glider, learn about the map towers, give me like 20 minutes of just, hey, here's tutorial on how the game works. And I just didn't think about that, and so I was missing really basic core functions, right? And you might have done that with Fortuna. You might have gone there and they had a natural progression of, hey, do this, do this, do this. Now you're standing here, talk to this guy, and get your K-Drive. And you were just like, oh, I want to get this thing. And so you missed those hints leading you to the K-Drive. Miha, people are clicker trained. We'll lose it here, a coin flip. Do it again, do it again. I think it's also the fact that at this point I have like 20 stories, 10% finished. Now I can't tell what part is what. That sounds incredibly confusing and like, yeah, that would make it harder. We're getting there, guys. We're almost at the end. Your priority was right, Elon. It was doubly tragic because one, it made the first 15 hours of the game really hard for me. Two, the Gerudo Vi outfit isn't even in Tears of the Kingdom. What the fuck? Like maybe 3 missions on Mars, then 4 missions on Jupiter, but not the connections between them? Yeah, granted I don't think there is a connection between Mars and Jupiter, but I understand what you're saying. I think Warframe is a great game. I see that roller coaster I mentioned. 10 hours of, or 5 hours of, woo, this game is fun, I'm jumping off walls, I'm cutting guys in half. Holy shit, I sniped that guy with a bow and stapled him to a wall. And then, like, after that initial tutorial, after that initial, like, whoa, this is fun, it's, what is there to do? I'm just doing the same eliminate mission over and over. This kind of stinks. And then you get to the next grind. You do your first lap of the star chart and start seeing story parts. And that's when it gets interesting again. No, like the connections between missions? There is no connection between Mars and Jupiter. The way the star chart goes is you start on Earth, you go left to Mars, that is a dead end. Or you go left to Venus, that's a dead end. Then you go right to Mars, that loops to this. There's a planet up here, I think it's like Europa. I'm not sure. That connects to another planet. That connects, I think that's Saturn at the top left. Then that's Jupiter, then Uranus, then Neptune. And so, like, if you're talking about the story connections, why the stuff relevant in Mars matters in Jupiter, there's no story in Mars. Do I have the Mars story 2, 4, and 8 unlocked? Not Mars 1 or 3 or 5 or 6 or 7? There's no story in Mars. There is junctions. Junctions are like gates between planets. So to get to Venus, the Earth junction will be like, equip 5 mods, kill an Eximus unit, do 10 waves of a defense mission. Once you do all those goals, you can then beat the boss at the junction to go to Venus. Then the Mars junction will be like, kill 5 Eximus units on Venus, visit Fortuna, kill the Raptor on Venus, and that will unlock the junction to Mars. Egg, you aren't getting what I mean? I don't know what you mean. I just don't. Because there's no story on Mars. That's just not a thing. Puff, I've only you play Warframe for the current star maps. Puff of only? Oh god, Riddle. Fortuna mentioned. Fortuna's pretty great. Bark, bark, bark. We're at 5.8. We're gonna be 5.9, I think, when we finish. Maybe not even. We're gonna go in this mountain. We're gonna go to the beacon shrine that Violet built. And then we're done walking. Yippee! Fortuna has great music. That song was legendary when they released it, Noodles. There's 3 open world. No, there's actually 4 open worlds. Was? I mean, it still is. It was good when it came out. Don't be pedantic. Good boy. There's the Plains of Eidolon, which was great when it came out, but like of the open world is probably the least of them, because it was the first, right? The first one was the just the learning process. Ugh. Ugh. Where are we? Where are we? We're here. Fortuna and Venus. They're probably the best. I think those are really good. And then after that was Deimos. Deimos aesthetically is really good. But man, it sucks to play Deimos. Deimos is not a fun zone. And then after Deimos was Duviri. Duviri is pretty, and it's fun when it fucking works, but what was the distance? Was it 5.8 or 5.9? 5.8. Miles. And now we rest. Done. Don't be pedantic, he says, doing the same. What did I do that was the same? I literally said Fortuna was great when it came out. That doesn't mean it's not still great. It's just like, going was is just like, oh, you're saying it's not good now? I didn't say that at all. It was and is still good, but I only said it was good. You guys are pushing my buttons today. You guys are pushing my buttons today. Holy cow. You fucking wait there while I change into my fucking PJs. Takeru, hi. Whisper closely to your eat. You were the best boy. That's ear. You leaned. That's me. Hi, hi. Ugh. We did 5.8 miles, Takeru. I'm tired. I'm not super tired, but I would be if we had fucking incline. But I finally get a day to rest. Celebrate. Yay. I switch to PJs. Where's my camera? Over there? I'm tired too. Did some dancing earlier? Hell yeah. Come in. Let me de-stress you. Grab plumber tools. Riddle, I don't think you would know how to de-stress me. Okay, let's see. Updated our title. I think I just looked at streams. And updated them because I wanted to get my oil points while I was walking. You know how the Warframe map is like a large trail with a whole bunch of connections? Yes. You can send me a picture if you want, Gana. With stuff like circled in paint if that helps you. Geez, I'm trying. Sledgehammer in hand. How do I word this? You try really, really hard, Riddle, to be funny and like entertain the group, which is I appreciate. But you often do it at like bad times. You do it like last night we're watching Xenoblade and we're watching the movie. And you were cracking a lot of jokes, which I do it too. I crack jokes during the story, which is I feel like fine. It's a fun experience. But it's like every sentence with you and it's like a little too much. You also do it sometimes where it's like a bit tense, where it's like, hey, we're, a little bit serious of a conversation, and I appreciate that you're trying to lighten the mood. But it's sometimes not always helping. It's not that I want you to stop. I would maybe appreciate you being a little more mindful of it, but I don't know how to say just like, hey, be more mindful of the vibe in the situation. English isn't your first language. I don't know how you would pick up and be better on that. I want you to know that I appreciate you, Riddle. That I do appreciate the effort that you're putting in. Where are we going? Where are we going? Woxy Avatar World. And it's just a picture of a girl with huge tits. Not like an avatar, but like just a girl in real life. Like, she looks like it'd be a picture on OnlyFans. Crazy. Where are we going? We're going to Cozy Cabin. Haven't been here in a while. Invite plus. Drop portal. Anchor. Local. Pin 3. Am I going? I'm like in the portal. There we go. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't think you need to be sorry about that, Riddle. I am pointing out, and it's one of those things. It's like I shouldn't point this out. It's just gonna bring him down. But I did it anyway. Send you a picture. Let's look at this. The pink ones are the ones I have access to, and the orange ones I don't have access to. Yes. So the way that works is, you have access to missions that you are next to. Okay, so there's pins in this map. I can show you. Joker, turn this off. Move that there, move that there. Didn't mean to click that. Click this. This here. Actually, in one. Okay. What? And you used. So you have. Oh, it's on local. I'm gonna try and recreate this real quick. You have one there, one there. And then this, 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 that. Oh god, there's a lot of these. What? Doot, 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 doot. Okay. And I need use for this. I don't know if this shows up on the thing. Oh, no, actually. I've already done it wrong, but let's, whatever. Okay. Do the black paths show up that well? Not particularly, but whatever. You can go to these two. You've essentially started here, and you can go to these two. The orange ones, which came out yellow, you can't go to. If you did this one, you could then do all the connecting ones. So you haven't completed either of these two. They have reset your Earth star chart, because you have 300 hours. You've done an Earth mission. If you do this mission, let's say you do an X, and that marks it as complete. This one becomes like this. This one becomes like this. And this one becomes like this. Let's say you do this one. This one will become like that. You do this one becomes that. You do this one becomes that. You do this one. These two become playable. You can do the pink ones because you've done something next to them. The X's are ones that you've actually done. Pink ones are ones that you have access to. Oh, if you did this one, you would also unlock this one. That's the way the star chart works. Pin 3. Settings. Fire. Nope, not sleep. Wind. Wind is fucking loud in this map. So they're just random planets that have 3 or 4 missions I can access, but no rail link between them, no connections. So that's because the star chart got reset. You had done some stuff in the past, and then they reworked the star chart, and so you have some holdover, like, you can kind of access them, but by the star chart, you're not supposed to have access to them. It's okay. Wish I could be better and more mindful. Hi, cyberspace not. Also, it's not just the Earth, it's literally every planet. I never called you Yuli before. Or do you prefer Yuland? Yuli? Okay. A lot of people call me Yuli. A lot of people call me Yu. There's one person who calls me Yulia. I'm good with all those. I'm one of those people who's like, my pronouns are he, him, but I'll respond to fucking anything, so long as it's not like daddy. But like, I respond to most things. I'm totally fine being called Yuli. I think the person who calls me that the most is Eto. Eto calls me Yuli, like, every time. Today is Friday? I only have one thing left for my Yukata avatar. I actually worked on it a bit yesterday, and I did publish it, but nobody redeemed it today. But it is almost all done. I need to mess with Blender, so I'm like, oh god, that's intimidating, and I don't want to do that without Makaya or Oku. In 1. Flying behavior. Auto level pit. Okay. And, yep, I've already got it on world. Bring this back to notes. This here, this here. This here. Whoa. Nerd, I'm confused. I don't know what Star Chart is. That is a Warframe thing. Gana was looking at the Star Chart for Warframe, and it'd been weird because they had played a long time ago, and then they reworked the map, and like it kind of made the map weird for them. Yulia just reminds me of the damsel in distress from Fist of the North Star. I actually haven't watched that. All I know is he punches people, and then they're like, that didn't hurt, and then he goes, you're already dead, and then they pop. Hi, Divana. Warframe stuff, yeah, that's my problem, because like the story is sequential, but I fucked it all up, so the story just doesn't make sense to me at that point. Oh, no. With the Star Chart, Gana, there is no story. Like, everything you can go to, there is no story. The story starts at Neptune. And so the planets after that, you could go there, but like, there's no story before Neptune. There's the intro story with Vor on Earth, but then like, there's no story for like 10 planets. Hi, Liar's Dice. Was that room made in Source? Admittedly, I'm coming back to this comment late, so I don't even know what room you're talking about. I don't have the points. Oh boy, rest in time. Elon, how long can you stall on the apps? Not too long. Are you joining for naps? I am debating. Oh, how long can you stall on yaps for until nap time? Heavily on joining for naps, yes. This Avi and its outfit looks so comfy and cute. It is one of my favorite outfits. It needs some work. I really need a safer work version, because this version has textures on the chest, and so if I lean too far forward or like have the camera to the side, you might see something. It also needs more underwear. It has really small underwear. And what it needs is like some dolphin shorts or something. I'm debating heavily on joining for naps. Yes, he's trying to save his fiance Yulia in the first chapter by punching people. Oh, okay. Give me like 4 hours and I'll show you how messed up stuff is. I'm glad they didn't kill my dog I neglected. So they used to. The Kubros used to like expire, and then they were like, yeah, this just sucks. We're gonna stop doing that. This is an oversimplification, but Fist of the North Star isn't that deep. Yeah. I wouldn't expect it to be that deep. Just more so fun and maybe some dark themes. For what on earth? The Star Chart in Warframe. Star. Getting out of bed is issue 1 ATM. Well, Noodles, I'm not going anywhere for a while. In VR chat specifically. And so, even if I end stream and it's an hour later, I'll still be on VR chat if you wanted to join for naps. I might be asleep at that point, but so fucking tired and only halfway through work. You got this, Micaiah. You got this. You can do it. And then you've got the fucking weekend. Friday night drinking. Hell yeah. Kind of like Doom, where he just kills the bad guys by ripping and tearing. I want to pet the noodles. But I also plan to get up in like 7 hours. Oh god, 7 hours. I sometimes just like mindless action. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of games where I like mindless action. And like, you know, there's some games that I would not play them for the story. Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter has an okay story. Nothing crazy, nothing in depth. Most people are there because they like just fucking fighting big ass monsters. I like playing my heavy bowgun and shooting the monster for 350 damage a shot, and it's just boom, headshot, boom, headshot, boom, headshot. Like that shit's just fun, right? And I could do that for fucking hours. Back in the day, you know, when I was a lot younger, Dynasty Warriors. I played so much Dynasty Warriors of just mowing down fields of men. I don't like how I said that. just mowing down armies and getting like, you killed 1,000 units this fight. That shit was awesome. Didn't really accomplish much in my life, but shit, I had fun. There will be an attempt today. No promises. Both games are just dudes punching things. Healing can take on 100 men. Okay. I've only played Hyrule Warriors. Sure where to start with Dynasty Warriors. With Dynasty Warriors, if you really want to get into Musous, they're very non-sequential. They're not even like Final Fantasies, where it's like, you can play Final Fantasy X and that's completely different than Final Fantasy XI. If anything, it's like FIFA games. They're the same game. Just one's more modern, has more characters, more stages, more systems. If you wanted to get into Dynasty Warriors, legitimately just get the most recent one. I think there's Dynasty Warriors Origins, which is very different from a Dynasty Warriors game. So either Dynasty Warriors Origins or whatever the most recent one was, which was like Dynasty Warriors 9, I think. You could also play a different Musou game. There's One Piece Pirate Warriors. There's Dynasty Warriors Gundam. There's the Legend of Zelda ones. There's Sengoku Basara. That's my personal favorite. Hi, Nenalai. There's Samurai Warriors. There's another one I'm forgetting. There's another big one that I'm forgetting. There's so many. Yeah, and they're pretty much, for the most part, the same game, but with a different spin on them. So, like, Dynasty Warriors is... all the enemies are a threat. Like, on the highest difficulties, even the littlest of the little puny soldiers can hit you for half your health. But you have the tools to just, like, take out entire swaths of enemies, and combo them to the point that you are safely attacking without being attacked. You just need to know your combos. You need to know how to sweep the enemy and attack in a way that you are safe while progressing through a stage and doing your thing. It's very much like know your combos, and go where you need to go in moments of safety, and don't die. Samurai Warriors is a lot more single target focused. You do not have these big crazy combos that just completely stagger all enemies around you at all times. Samurai Warriors is like, you need to do pot shots, you need to constantly be dodging, you need to be like much more active about protecting your health, because you just don't have the tools to AoE massive groups. But typically, the enemies are not as aggressive in Samurai Warriors as they were in Dynasty Warriors. Gundam Warriors, I would say, is more like Samurai Warriors, but instead of going out and like, hey, go here and take out this target, it is a very high focus on protecting points. So they'll take you to a fort or an area of priority that's like, hey, defend this for 3 minutes to capture it. Once you defend that, go to this one and defend that one for 3 minutes. And so this one feels like King of the Hill, where you gotta fucking hold the point for 3 minutes, and it's very difficult to like constantly deal with ambushing enemies and reinforcements that are coming in with like attacks that are very difficult to dodge as they're sprinting in. And like fighting them themselves isn't that hard, but it's like them coming in with an ambush attack, and you have to survive that. You have to survive the onslaught. I don't know what the gimmick is with One Piece Warriors. I don't remember what the gimmick is with Hyrule Warriors. Sengoku Basara, though that's my favorite, I sadly can't tell you what the gimmick is there, because I played the English version, which, hi Freya, hi love. The English version, the Japanese developers were like, oh, we don't want Westerners to hate our game because it's too hard, and Westerners are bad at games, so take out the extreme difficulty. Remove the highest level of difficulty in Sengoku Basara. That way the Westerners won't get angry at how hard our game is. And it's like, man, fuck you. So I don't know what like the highest level of play is for Sengoku Basara. Dynasty Warriors is the ultimate press button and mindlessly beat up people game. Yeah, I think I tried to emulate a PS2 one. The controls were so fucked up, Lamau. Always get the Empires edition, personal opinion. Yeah, there's so many. I never found it that deep until playing the later difficulties. It's very approachable for people that just want to beat stuff up. Before the later difficulties, they're basically all the same. Like, they're literally just mow down legions of armies and just, you know, kill generals. At the highest level play, that's where it's like, oh, you can't just run into a group and kill them all. It's like you have to play according to that game. Gundam Bark. I really like the Hyrule Warriors kill a ton of shit and slowly take over the battlefield. Hi, Yulin, my love. Hi. Oh, there's a One Piece one. Hi, Nenalai. There is. Wah! Hi, Stalking. Hyrule's cool. Lots of gimmicks, minigames, many stories, and multiplayer combos. I mean, I'm bad at games, but not because I'm a Westerner. Hi, Raiders. Hello, Yulin. Hi, Damo. How was walk today? It was good. We did 5.8 miles, I think. We had 4 incline. An overall nice, chill day. Not like a flat, easy day, but for the most part, pretty chill. Pretty good. Holy crap. Best MMZ track is your raid alert. Yes. My follow. I have 2 sounds for stream levels. I really need to get more, but I've been lazy as fuck for 2 years. If it's a short alert, like a sub or a follow, it's the stage select from Mega Man Zero. And then if it's like a raid, it's the mission starts song. Yes. I love Mega Man Zero. I really need more sound effects. I really need I would like some from Battle Network. I would like some from Tactics Advance. Oh, Golden Sun would be a good one. The intro to the second game is so sick. I'm playing Age of Calamity now, and it's weird. More boss focus, not as much controlling battlefield, but it's fun. You get to fuck shit up with Divine Beast. Yeah, I remember I played the first one. I did not play the second one at all. I just never got it. It's one of those, like, I loved Musou games as a kid. I'd probably have a lot of fun with them now, but I'd want to play them co-op, and like they're typically very single player focused. And so unless you have somebody there with you, it's a hurdle to play co-op. And so, I brought up Monster Hunter. I brought up Monster Hunter because Noodles reminded me of it earlier, and then we got distracted by more Xenoblade. I did my bounties yesterday. One of the bounties was kill a Gypceros. Okay. So I'm fighting this Gypceros on my heavy bowgun. It's an SOS flare, so there's 3 other hunters, right? The thing plays dead. And I know it's playing dead. It's not real. So I just keep shooting. The other 3, they all stop and they, like, you know, they carve it. I just do so much fucking damage on my heavy bowgun setup, though, that it died. Like, it played dead, and after like 12 seconds, it just, mission complete, hunt successful. And it was just like, wait, he played dead and just never got up. He just didn't get back up. The spread bowgun I have, God, it just does so much damage. If I'm hitting weak spots, it's doing 50 damage per bullet and shooting 7 bullets. And under specific situations, I've seen like 70 per bullet, which is fucking bonkers. That's like, how the fuck is it hitting that hard? But this Gypceros fucking played dead and then didn't get up. I played some WoW yesterday. I did 2 mythic dungeons with the guild. I was gonna do them with Farisu, but then we were in a weird situation of we have 6 people, so we split into 3 and 3, and then one of the groups ran. The group I was in, which was Farisu, Clutch, and I think I was waiting on Farisu, and Farisu was waiting on me, and so that one just didn't happen. The other group cleared up a spot, and so I went with them, did 2 dungeons. I was doing comparable DPS to the other 2 DPS in the party. So I'm very happy with that. I was cheating a little bit. And so World of Warcraft has added one button mode. The thing is, though, it increases your global cooldown. So you should do less damage when you use one button mode. The thing about one button mode was that it tells you what button it's going to press next. And so I kind of just have it on my bar and I'm staring at it, but I'm not pressing it. And so, like, if it says, hey, Mind Flay, I'm pressing a different button to press Mind Flay. I'm not pressing one button mode, but it's saying, hey, press Mind Flay now. Oh, that's cool now. And then it's like, do Mind Blast. Okay, well, now I'm pressing Mind Blast. Do Devouring Blade. Okay, I'll go over here and press that one. So I'm pressing the buttons, but I'm absolutely just looking at it and pressing what it's saying to press. It feels kind of bad. It feels like I'm not learning the class. It feels like I don't know what situations to use what. I'm just like reacting to what it's telling me, which doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel like I'm learning. But all the damage is good, so I'm happy with that. Thanks for the help, funny cheat button. Basically, it's on bosses I was like peaking at 3.5 million DPS, and then usually at the end of a boss fight I would have leveled off at like 1.2 million, which felt good. It was nice to the first mythic dungeon I did, which was like a day or two ago. I can't remember if it was Tuesday or Wednesday. I was very much below the other DPS. At one point, Kron had an item level of 630 and I had an item level of 660, and he was out DPSing me, and I was like, wow, this feels fucking bad. I need to get good because clearly I fucking suck. We have bad news. We have bad news today. One of the horses in Uma Musume passed away. A horse, it was the horse named Grass Wonder. They passed away yesterday. I think they were 30 years old, which, I mean, that's pretty good for a horse. That's a pretty long life, but rest in peace, Grass Wonder. You were a lovely horse. Yeah, it sucks. It's I mean, it's just gonna happen, right? When you name the horses after real horses. Hi, Kisu. Unfortunate, but from what I hear, 30 is really old for a racehorse. Non-racist horses will live to like 40 at most. I actually didn't know horses lived that long. I would have thought like 20. But 30 to 40, I'm like, oh, that's way longer than I expected. The last thing in my note was that we watched game trailers yesterday. And there really wasn't any game that I saw that I was like, ooh, I want to play this. We saw a trailer for Stormgate, which I don't necessarily want to play, but I still have mild hope for. I was very excited for it when I first saw the trailer. And then it came out and apparently it sucked. I'm still a little hopeful that they can turn it around. But Stormgate was a trailer that we saw that I was like, I think I have it on my wish list on Steam. Even non-race horses live 25 to 30 as an average. There was the Atelier Riza trilogy. So there's Atelier Riza 1, 2, and 3, and apparently that's getting a trilogy pack. I've had so much fun with Xenoblade that I'm kind of on a JRPG mood kick. I'm very much in a mood of I want to play JRPGs, especially ones with free action combat. If they're not turn-based, I don't think turn-based is bad, but I very much prefer free action combat. And so JRPGs that have free action, I'm like, ooh. And so the Atelier Riza trilogy kinda has my attention. And then we saw a bunch of trailers for games that, like, I think are really cool, but I don't think I want to play them. I think I'd love to watch people play them. And so the ones I wrote down were Our Park Capital, I Come in Peace, The Eternal Life of Goldman, Darksiders 4. Those were 4 games. It's like, I don't see myself ever playing them. But I think I'd have a lot of fun watching people play those. Today's Friday. We have World Hop with Correlator. You like Pokemon, right? Play Spectrobes? I like Pokemon, but I don't know if I like creature collectors. Because I've played other creature collectors, and they just don't hit the same. Like, I played Temtem, and that was fun, but that was fun because I was playing it with Core. And I haven't looked at a single other creature collector as like, whoa, I'm way into these. Palworld I played, but again, that was like... It just means this. I don't know. I think Pokemon just has so much nostalgia into it that I like that one. But I don't know if I like other creature collectors. I'll look into that though. I want to play XCOM 2 now. But crazy backlog, and when I read online, it's like, you must stutter step. Do all of this shit. The game never tells you to combat effectively. Hold on. Are we talking StarCraft 2 or XCOM 2? Because StarCraft 2, yes. Xenoblade Chronicles 2. What the fuck? Don't tell me that. Don't tell me that's the thing. And I hate animation canceling and stutter step. I'm sure it's fine without that. I'm sure it's like that's the optimum way, but not the intended way. There ain't no way the devs for Xenoblade Chronicles 2 intended animation canceling and stutter stepping as the right way to play their JRPG. I refuse to believe. Xenoblade. If that was XCOM, I was like, how the fuck do you stutter step in a turn base? You don't, because it's fucking grid. Well, Xenoblade. XCOM 2 isn't grid, is it? That's just free movement, just with well, maybe not free movement. What would you call that movement? It's not. It's a grid, I'm pretty sure. No, I don't think it is. I think it's like, I think you just move like set distances, and it's a bar that drains. So like you can move as long as you have bar. I don't think it's a grid though. I think, you know, Final Fantasy Tactics, that's a grid. But I think it's more like Divinity 2 and Baldur's Gate 3, where it's like you've got a little bit of wiggle room here and there. I'm like 70% confident in that. I'm like, I don't think it's a grid. It's not, right? Surely it's not. But I mean, I'm doubting myself a little now that you said that. Oh, where did I put the thing? Where did I put the thing? XCOM 2 is 95% hit, go for it, miss. Truly. You can tell who has played or watched XCOM because when they play Uma and they're like 7% chance to fail, nah, we don't take those. We don't take those. Games are cool, but I wish I had hugs. What time is it? Pop my back, please. Pop. Oh, it didn't pop. I don't know. I kind of have both. I get hugs. I get games. I get friends. I get nap. I want for nothing. Pop, squish. I do think I'm going to end. I do think I'm going to find somewhere to send you all. I just need to decide where. Ugh, ugh. There's many good targets. But I have to pick one. I can only pick one. I wish I had that. Maybe I do. Oh, but I'm gonna open it and it's gonna be like, hello? Camera? Controller? I'm gonna open Twitch and it's immediately gonna start playing the top stream.
Yeah,
I hate that they do that. I hate that Twitch is like, you open a new tab and it's like, okay, we're gonna play the stream for you. I wanna go to the stream manager. Because Cora was telling me there's a thing there that's like, hey, look at the list of people you've rated that you haven't rated recently. Where is that? Who the fuck are these people? For you? What the fuck? Following. Sort by... Okay. This isn't quite the sort by I wanted. I need friends. Everyone does. Thanks for stream. When I go to the following page, anywhere the main page is such ass. What I should do is I should set the follow page as my like home page for Twitch, because I have Twitch on my bookmarks bar, and that's how I go to Twitch. But it brings me to the main page, which starts playing the fucking like featured streams. I fucking hate that. I have somebody in mind. I have somebody that I'm kind of eyeing. I just want to see how long they've been live and if they're planning to go for a while today. Just in time. Hi, Yoku. I'm gonna sneeze. I didn't sneeze. Pretty sure I have autoplay main page streams off, but still, I think I need to fucking turn that off. Hi, Spacefish. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Flying. Oh, can't go into myself like that. That'd be really bad. Christmas. Look at the Christmas tree. I want to like cut out the fucking... No, I'll just go to the landscape. Fuck it. Ugh. Hi, Oku. Hi, Spacious. Bye-bye, Ewan. Bye. Ugh. Ugh. I come over here. Logitech did the socials for me. We're gonna go to Wolfie. Flash raid. Wolfie. Nia. Bye-bye, Eplin. Thanks for streaming. Have a good night. You can't, but I will. What do you mean? Thank you for the great time you in chat. Love. Thank you, everybody, for keeping me company. I had a lot of fun today. We have 5.8 miles for incline. Pretty good workout. We're gonna do VR chat with Correlator. If I'm not trash, I will remember to ping the Discord with her Twitch link. And then yeah, I don't think we'll be doing ARGs this week. We did a bunch last week, but we'll see. She might surprise me. Donkey Kong Sunday. We're gonna be playing Donkey Kong with Cairo then, and that'll be our day 750 stream. It'll be 2 days early, but we're gonna celebrate then. I love you. Bye.
Bye. Thanks for stream.